Evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Upsurge Contenders League. We are here with the Summer 2020 Finals between ONECHANCE and Illinois Academy. I am Joe Helmite Silva, joined here tonight by Michael Mikey Carter, and I think we can expect a really good matchup between these two teams as we come down to the finals.
Played obviously earlier in the regular season, and they went 2-1 with Illinois Academy taking the win. So it should be a pretty good series. Pretty much all of these guys are evenly matched, so I'm pretty excited for this one.
Yeah, ONECHANCE looking to get maybe a little bit of revenge for that regular season loss. But then again, they have made it all the way here. Bunch of changes since that original draft. I think you were even talking about there was like a Soraka top or something that got picked up in an earlier game. So lots of changes. And what are we kind of expecting these two teams to be bringing out here tonight?
Well, one of the main things is these teams love to play towards the bot side and through mid lane. So you can expect the Daniel Park and Faraz to be very, very active on the bottom side of the map, going for these skirmishes over the scuttles, and Oshawott and Kudarik kind of just going toe-to-toe with each other, picking things like Cassiopeia in the bot lane, Syndra. You know, they really have champion oceans down there, both of them. So it's definitely going to shape for a spicy draft.
Okay, so lots of flexible picks then, lots of mages then potentially in the bottom lane here, and might we see some tanks and other supportive picks up on the top side, maybe picking up that Shen who's not in a terrible spot here, or other champions with the global pressure to aid in that bottom lane, or is it more of a if we get Oshawott ahead, if we get Kudarik ahead, doesn't really matter because we can snowball elsewhere on the map?
I think Ornn is going to be a very contested pick between these two teams. We saw it twice in their series in the regular season. One of each of them. Illinois played it one game, and ONECHANCE played it one game. So we can expect that to be a pretty contested pick. Like I said, they both play weak side top lane, so you can expect things like Gnar, Ornn, even a Heimerdinger wouldn't be out of question here. It's just a matter of what they want to do and how they want to play. But you can definitely expect weak side top lane for pretty much every game this series.
Okay, so weak side top lane, picking up the Ornn like you were saying. Would love to see a Heimerdinger top, in all honesty. It's been a long time since we've seen that guy pop up, but just going to be holding down the top lane, focusing on that bottom side and trying to get some, hopefully the 80 carries snowballing. So are we expecting more of like front to back team fighting compositions then, or more side lane pressure here?
Yeah, I would expect a front to back comp from both of these teams. It's something that they're both very used to and have run all season, and it has worked for them. So, but we are moving into draft right now.
Yes, here we go. The bans are coming thick and heavy here with Nidalee and Talia taken away here from Illinois Academy, quickly followed up by that Bard. Meanwhile, ONECHANCE ban out the Darius and the Ashe right away, and still have one more ban to think about. Actually, Illinois thinking about the Bard did get nerfed actually on a recent patch here, so maybe not quite as powerful here, but still thinking about it regardless. And that's a lot of interesting bans here already thrown at the table, and Ornn potentially is going to slip through.
Yeah, Pyroan is a very AP carry heavy jungler. He plays things like Talia, the Nidalee, the Echo. So you can expect those things to be banned throughout the series, and looks like they're going to be locking in the Shen as well. So good call on that. Earlier you were saying that was going to be a pick that you would like to see. So already coming out.
Yeah, Illinois Academy say, we just want to go for that bottom lane play. We're going to pick up the Shen and wouldn't be surprised to see a tower dive bot lane. Cassiopeia was the last ban to round out things. I know we talked about that in the bottom lane. You mentioned the Cassiopeia, so that is going to be off the table. Now, ONECHANCE, they're thinking about this last pick, but hovering the Caitlyn, which would be a very strong pick. They are going to grab that for themselves, and especially after the most recent buffs, really strong pick, and they're going to follow that up with a Maokai, potentially for the top lane.
So that Maokai is actually a really good flex pick for them. Caitlyn Maokai has been a pretty prevalent lane in higher elo in place of the Caitlyn Morgana, as it's just having that auxiliary tank. Maokai doesn't really need gold to be effective with his passive, and he just does so much damage in the early game that you can aggress on pretty much anybody in the game. So that's a pretty good flex pick for them. I would expect it to go top lane as it does decent into Shen, but it's a good flex pick for sure.
Yeah, so potentially a support Maokai here as Illinois Academy. They're going to lock in the Karthus. Speaking of flex picks here, probably going to see that either in the jungle or in the mid lane. Tends to be where he's at. Not sure exactly how well the jungle Karthus does nowadays, but like you were saying, does favor the early AP junglers, so that might be the carry AP that you're talking about. And now a Lux locked in here. Might we see the Lux Sona bottom lane?
I don't think so. My inkling is that that's going to be a Karthus bot lane with the Lux. And it looks like they're going to lock in the Morgana as well. So there goes that flex pick. But I'm thinking that might be a Karthus bot lane with Lux. It's just very, very oppressive. You're able to shove Caitlyn out, and she's not able to fully utilize her kit in essence. But Karthus is another one of those flex picks where he can really go anywhere, and Lux can go mid or support safely as a blind. So it's actually a really solid draft from them so far, I think.
Yeah, so getting everything that they want so far as we go into the second ban phase. Nocturne is going to be the first ban here for ONECHANCE, followed up by Amumu from Illinois Academy. So lots of jungle bans out here as ONECHANCE thinking about banning away the Zed here, probably to try and clear up one of their squishier AP members for the mid lane here. But like you said, we talked about the Caitlyn Morgana lane a little bit. They have decided to opt into it, but a lot of magic damage here for Illinois Academy. That is going to be the Zed here locked in. So might the Morgana lose a little bit of value against so much magic damage that will shred that Black Shield?
Could, yeah. One of the issues that I have with picking AP heavy comp is that Maokai can really itemize to maximize his healing, where you have things like the Spirit Visage, the Adaptive Helm. They're just really good items to where he's just not going to take damage and just heal constantly. And to itemize Grievous Wounds as an AP champion is really difficult. So you would have to basically just go Bramble on Shen into Maokai, who does magic damage. So it's really just suboptimal, but I think it's solid because obviously you can just counter the Mord Black Shield with Karthus Q. So
exactly. Poke that away and then go for the damage here as the last bans have been rounded out. Rumble taken away here from Illinois Academy. And then that's going to be ONECHANCE picking up Kindred first out of the draft here. So interesting choice here. It gives them a little bit more AD damage, but does mean they might be a little bit on the squishier side, not very much initiation.
And I would expect them to pick lanes that are going to have a significant amount of priority. Obviously, Caitlyn Morgana is one of the most oppressive lanes in the game, and they're just going to be able to run at anybody at any point, and they're going to have permanent priority over anything that they pick bot lane, even if it's Karthus Lux. Whereas on the flip side, Maokai versus Shen is a pretty even matchup up until that Maokai is able to itemize into tankier items, because he can just heal through Shen's damage, no problem. So I would expect them to pick a mid laner here that has a decent amount of priority, and it looks like they will, Akali.
Yeah, so Akali here, likely to be the Akali-Yasuo matchup here in the mid lane, so should be able to get a lot of value out of that pick, and that is going to be the draft rounded up from Illinois Academy with the Volibear as well in the jungle, so giving them a little bit more of the initiation. Can already see how that Volibear and Shen might work together here. But so what kind of a team fight, what kind of a laning phase are we expecting here out of ONECHANCE's comp? I know you're talking about it's very aggressive, but how are they going to be able to translate early aggression into a game win?
So my question here is, this game is very reliant on Kindred. So is Kindred going to be able to run over a Volibear? The question is like, it's very possible. But if Volibear just plays very safely, doesn't greed for marks, and understands that the win con for them is to not feed Kindred and Akali, they should be fine, because that comp scales like mad with Shen and Yasuo and Karthus together. On the flip side, though, I feel like ONECHANCE, their win con is going to be this Kindred and Akali. I don't think it's not really the Caitlyn that's going to be your carry here. The reason for that is because you have things like Volibear and Shen that are going to negate so much of that Caitlyn damage, and Volibear is going to be running at this Cait on repeat. Ulting on her, stunning her, slowing her, and it's really just going to be difficult for her to get activated in team fights. So it's going to be very, 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 very much on this Akali to do well into Yasuo, to get good roams, and to win out on these early game skirmishes against that Volibear and Yasuo combo.
Okay, so and that's kind of contrary to what we were talking about a little earlier when we were saying bot lane focus from both of these two teams, top lane weak side trying to get the AD carry potentially ahead. Instead, we're kind of saying the emphasis is on the mid lane duo here with the Kindred Akali into the Volibear Yasuo and seeing how those two teams or those two players play around together. Is that correct?
Yeah, that would in essence be what it is. But as we're looking at this draft now in the client, it looks like that Karthus may be mid, and that's a Yasuo bot lane. So that kind of changes things. That kind of changes things a lot because now you're playing towards bot side entirely on both sides. Because obviously you wanted to get the Yasuo activated, right? So that's why you would want to play towards mid because Akali's going to be shoving him in. But this is a development that I was not expecting. I thought for sure it was Karthus Lux bot lane and Yasuo mid. So now that totally changes your whole game plan because you have to be able to get this Yasuo shut down early and make sure that your Caitlyn is activated. This is a spicy development.
Yeah, so we talked about the flex picks both of these teams had with the Maokai, with the Yasuo, the Karthus, all of these champions able to be flexed around. And at the end of the day, it is Illinois Academy who say, hey, we're going to go ahead and swap this around. We're going to send the Karthus mid into the Akali. So once again, we are going back to that bot lane style of play like we were talking about earlier on. So they made a profit out of you at the end of the day here.
Yeah, they made me look like a darn fool. Especially because we know that Daniel Park is. Oh, they just swapped. Okay, so it's Yasuo. So it's Yasuo mid and Karthus bot.
Well, hold that thought until 22nd, right? Make sure.
I was gonna say because Daniel Park is the Yasuo player, right?
Yeah, there we are. Okay, we know it's the Yasuo mid lane now. So back to where we were before. Caster Curse, of course. Yeah, so the swap in here for the Yasuo mid lane. So it is going to play out like we're talking about with these sort of duo here, the Kindred Akali versus the Yasuo Volibear here. And that does change a couple of things, but not a lot because you do have the ability here. You have the Shen ult, you have the Volibear disabling on the tower. Might we see a sort of level 6 dive, 4-man dive here from Illinois Academy onto ONECHANCE?
So here's my expectation, okay? I would expect that Shen and Maokai just go toe to toe for like the entire of 1 through 6. And I feel like the reason that they have this comp is to 5-man bot, right? So what I'm expecting is probably level, like once Shen is level 8 or so, I would expect them to 5-man bot when Karthus and Lux both have their ultis. It's going to be super oppressive, and there's really nothing that bot lane can do apart from just like looking for the God Morgana bind into Morg ulti on like 3 people under tower. But Volibear is just going to shut down that tower anyway and have the Shen ult, and it's a crazy dive comp, and to have that sort of backline with Karthus and Lux together, it's really oppressive comp. I really like Illinois Academy and what they've done with their composition here. But on the flip side, as I was saying before, if Akali is able to get activated in this game, it's going to be so hard for this Shen and this Volibear to be able to contain her. So things are nutty here. We're looking at a nutty draft on both sides.
So lots of interesting picks here. We are going to be hopping onto a brief intermission while we wait for the spectator delay here, folks. But don't go anywhere. We'd like you guys to hear a quick word from our sponsor, Sector 6.
Started with a vision. A vision of quality, a vision of uniformity. We took the time to create something familiar yet refreshing. Something with a bit of change.
Designed to fit any brand's unique vision.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here on the Rift for Game 1 of Illinois Academy versus One Chance. Of course, on the blue side here, we do have Illinois Academy with Quacker up in the top lane, Sushi Killa in the jungle, the Daniel Park in mid lane, Kuderek at AD carry, and Wakanari his support.
Yeah, and on the flip side, on red side, we got Wave 6 in the top lane, Pyroin in the jungle, Faraz in the mid, Oshawott on AD carry, and Monster Mash 69 on support. How you feeling tonight, Helm? How you feeling about this series and this game?
I'm feeling good. Like you said, we got a bunch of really spicy picks here from these teams. We got hopefully some good front to back team fighting here, and hopefully we'll have a good series on our hands here. Of course, both these teams, they are going to just do that 5-man fan. No one wants to risk any early aggression here. I think both of them are really trying to look for those scaling compositions, trying to get their picks going.
Yeah, for sure. You definitely, like I was saying, this is going to be a very mid-oriented game. The Akali and the Yasuo it's such a volatile matchup. So whoever really gets that first kill might be able to take over the entire game. So that's definitely something to look out for. But on the flip side, Quacker versus Wave 6 is also always a volatile matchup. In the regular season, it was Quacker dominated. So we'll see what Wave 6, if he's made any adjustments based on what he's seen in the past and how that matchup is going to go.
Yeah, so Wave 6, maybe a bit of things he needs to do in order to alter how it went last time, but he does have the advantage of being on a Maokai, who utility pick, always something he can bring to the table, even if he does fall behind here.
Yeah, even if you just want to be a CC bot on Maokai, you're always going to be a useful pick no matter what. The only problem is, it looks like we're getting some heavy trading in the bot lane. But it's always going to be a good pick no matter what because of how much CC the kit has. As Faraz and Daniel also go head to head. But yeah, the reason the
Oh,
Maokai
actually, hold that
works.
thought. Bot lane, Sushi Kill actually went for the early gank there. He flashed even, and they weren't able to get it. But meanwhile, for us in the mid lane, he's ignited. He's just going to go down. Daniel Park picking up first blood here, talking about that early kill, and it's going the way of Illinois Academy.
Yeah, and like I said, a very volatile matchup in the mid lane, and part of the reason why is because both of those laners want to get their priority. They want to get the early aggression, and it looks like Daniel Park just got the best of him. Daniel Park is known for his Yasuo. He plays it all the time. Anytime he's able to get his hands on it, they're gonna pick it. So it was just a lack of respect from Faraz there to let him get the early kill.
Yeah, so, and especially it was looking so good there for Faraz for so long, and then all of a sudden, Daniel Park turned it on and picked up that first blood. Now, there was a smart play here from Pyro, who went into the jungle and tried to steal away those Raptors. Didn't quite get it, but will have the scuttle priority here. So, trying to get a little bit of advantage back for One Chance as they have given up that first blood. And a Yasuo ahead is no fun to play against.
Yeah, it's definitely not fun for the enemy team when you have a Yasuo that's that strong. But it looks like Kindred won the 50-50 and got the mark spawn on the right side. So super, super good for Pyro and on that Kindred. Um, but the one thing that we're gonna have to look at in this game and in this top lane is whether or not Wavesix can manage his mana effectively. Obviously, when you're trying to trade with Shen, you have to use abilities, and Maokai can become very mana hungry if you don't manage it correctly. As you can see, very low mana already, trying to trade back with the Shen. Um, and Shen can just be such an oppressive pick. He didn't need buffs at Riot. Um, and they haven't reverted them yet, so he's still in a very, very broken state as of right now. And it's so good into pretty much everything.
Yeah, a strong flex pick here, and kind of see Wavesix already low on mana. So, of course, Quacker will go for this trade here. Looking very good for himself. Aftershock should keep Wavesix alive, but he'll be forced to recall here. And I wanted to go back a little bit here and talk about the mid lane because you do have Daniel Park. He got that first blood. He's up on Faraz. He's kind of able to go for these trades. Is that going to adjust how Pyroin does the jungling? Is he going to still focus on the mid lane to try and even things out, or is he likely to go to a different lane? Let's actually hold that thought here. Quacker, good chunk of damage here. He might be able to finish him off. Grass Proc is going to come through. That is going to be the respect flash from Wavesix here, but he has no mana to lock him up, and Quacker just takes that one easy as you please. Now, bot lane here, that was a late Black Shield. Oshawott taking a bit of damage, but will get the net away. Wakanari takes a bunch. He's forced to flash and heal. The Ignite is down, but it's not going to be quite enough. Now, Oshawott, he burns down. Kuderik picks that one up, and now he's looking at Monster Mash 69. Shouldn't be able to take that one, but that is going to be a solo lane kill in all three lanes here for Illinois Academy.
Yeah, that is a dream start for them so far. Kuderik looking really good on this Karthus, hitting those Skittles, able to kill the Caitlyn. Like I said, the reason the Karthus Lux is so good into Caitlyn is you're negating everything Caitlyn wants to do in lane. You're shoving her in. She has to play under tower. She can't aggress with things like trying to place traps underneath you and trying to auto in the wave. She can't do that against Karthus. It's impossible. So that's the whole reason for the pick, and that's why I was praising it in draft, and we're seeing it in action. And then obviously top lane, Shen is incredibly balanced, and the lane is going in his favor. So that's that, I guess.
Yeah, now it does have the early kill, but only a 9 CS deficit here for Wavesix. So at least something he's going to be able to pick up as Pyroin's going to get caught out here in the river. Sushi Killa going for the damage. Pyroin is going to be able to pick that up and get the mark here. Jumps away, but is going to get hit by the binding. A good blast cone gets him to safety, though. That will give Dragon priority here over to University of Illinois.
Yeah, and it looks like they're not going to contest. It's a pretty free dragon for them. That's super good for Kindred, though. Obviously, the first two dragons are not super important to get. So they'll just sack it and say, okay, well, they stole it, actually.
Actually, wow! Pyro is able to go back in and take it. Will pop the Lamb's respite to buy a little bit more time, but he should be going down here. Sushi Killa with the big boy heal off of that Q. And now Kuderik does get hit by the Dark Binding, so can't finish that kill on the Monster Mash. Nicely done by Pyro and sacrifice himself to get that Drake.
Yeah, that was really, really well played. I'm disappointed that the directed cam didn't let me see what was going on down there. But that was really, really well played by Pyroin to be able to recognize that he had the level advantage on Sushi Killa. Obviously, the smite does more damage. It looks like we're
Oh,
getting a
here we
dive.
go. Level 6. Sushi Killer goes under tower. He's got the Shen ultimate. Monster Mash takes a bunch of damage, but he's not the focus. Sushi Killer rooted up. He's going to go down to Oshawott. First kill of the game here goes over to ONECHANCE. That is going to be Monster Mash running for his life, but he's running the wrong way. As here we go, all into the mid lane here. Daniel Park takes a bunch of damage here. He's looking for the outplay. He gets the flash away. Faraz isn't been able to quite finish it off yet. He's looking for that last auto attack. The stab comes through. Shutdown picked up, but Daniel Park will be able to clean up Faraz. Monster Mash, he's still on the run. Might be able to draw the execute at this point. Yes, he will. So nicely played by the support. So that's actually a kill donated from that dive that Illinois Academy opted into.
Yeah, it's an ill-advised dive. You want to wait for Volibear to have his ultimate so that he's not taking that tower aggro. And he just tanked the tower in the Morgana bind and dropped to the tower aggro. So really just overzealous play by them, and they got punished for it.
Yeah, Illinois Academy might be feeling themselves a little too much. They said, well, hey, we got solo kills in every lane. That means we can do whatever we want yet, right? And not quite the way the game works, unfortunately. But Faraz here, with that solo lane kill, there was the all in, and he was able to make it happen. So a good signs of life here for ONECHANCE if their mid laner is able to answer back from a position of not very much power.
Yeah, Akali is one of those champions where there's so much outplay potential. It's one of the things that makes the champion so attractive, is because if you have a really good player like Faraz is, you can pretty much outplay anybody at any given time. And it doesn't matter whether you're behind, whether you're ahead. If you outplay them, you can kill them. And that's what happened.
Yeah, if you can outplay, you can kill. And Faraz showed he can outplay here. Daniel Park not able to pick that one up, but here we go again. There's going to be the level 6 roam down.
He's got level
Volibear,
6 now.
He finally has Stormbringer available. The binding is going to go wide. Here we go. Tower is disabled. Monster Mash just goes down. Now Daniel Park is going to go onto the Caitlyn here. That is going to be Requiem channel, but not even needed. Daniel Park picks that one up. And now Faraz, he is down here. And this should be a dead Yasuo. He's between towers. No support. Quacker, no ultimate either. He's going to be actually looking for the kill in the top lane. Daniel Park, though, he draws the execute. So he is able to get himself out to safety. Faraz comes up with nothing. Very nicely done this time around for Illinois Academy.
Yeah, that's so good for them. Like I said, all you have to do is just wait till Volibear hits that 6, and you can get free dives all the time in that bot lane, as you have that insurance policy. If somebody ends up being really low at the end of the dive, you just press R on Karthus and they die. So it's really nice.
Yeah,
I thought that was going to be an engage there.
Yeah, not quite going to be able to find it. That was Herald Summon up mid lane to get at least some tower plating onto Pyro, who at this point is maybe sort of starting to look like the carry that ONECHANCE need, as this, I believe, is the 4th mark if he's able to pick up this Gromp, which will go over. Yes, going to get caught up by Quacker, though. Will go down, so maybe not so much as he gives the kill over.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? Even though Volibear has that kill and has all this KP, Kindred is still up 300 gold because of all the farm that Kindred has accumulated so far. So really not that bad of a trade, I guess. I mean, obviously you don't want to die for a mark, but you're getting free stats for it, and you're at 4 marks at 11 minutes. That's pretty darn good.
Yeah, very strong indeed. So I know we keep coming back to the mid lane here, but the Akali Yasuo maybe a little even, not quite going the way that ONECHANCE wanted it to, but we do have the very fed Kindred. And now, does Pyro have the ability to carry the game on this champion, or is it just not really going to be enough facing the front line that Illinois Academy have got set up?
It's going to be really difficult because obviously Karthus has that passive where even if you do drop him early in the fight, he's still able to shell out so much damage on the enemy team. Obviously, if you're able to kill Lux early, you take a lot of the shielding ability out of the enemy team. But the problem is just going to be getting into the backline in the first place. It's just really difficult for this Kindred, but we'll see how he plays it. I mean, obviously anything can happen. This is UCL Grand Finals. This is, the best of this league. So really, anything can happen on these players. They're all very talented. They're all very good players. So we'll see.
Yes, here we go. This is going to be the setup for the Infernal Drake as we have Pyro rotating here to the back of the pit. Monster Mash is going to be able to pick up the binding, but here we go. Actually, level 6 ultimates are going to be popped here. They're trying to go for Pyro. He's taunted up and cannot pop the Lamb's Respite. Goes down, no problem. And now Faraz onto the back line looking for Wakanari here. Instead, they're going to go for the Karth as he's taking a bunch of damage, but he's not quite dead yet. There he goes.
Faraz.
7 more seconds of damage. Requiem is going to be popped. Not matter. Daniel Park is going to be able to pick that one. That is going to be the final spark burn for Wave 6, but he's very tanky. So at the end of the day, it's going to be 2 dead in exchange for just the Karthus kill, and that leaves Illinois Academy in a great position to take this Drake.
Very good Drake for that composition. Obviously, like I said, the first 2 Drakes are not super, super important, but anytime you can get an Infernal Drake for your team, you're feeling pretty good about it. Really surprised that Maokai didn't drop there, as he doesn't have any MR whatsoever. Apart from no, he has none, not even in the runes. So I'm really surprised that he didn't drop to all the magic damage that was getting pumped out on him, but obviously well played by him to be able to get away. But not a great trade. You're now down 10-3. It's about a 2.5k gold lead here at 13 minutes. It's not optimal for you right now. Obviously both of these comps scale really hard. Kindred scales super hard. And the enemy team doesn't have an 80 carry where you have 2 of them. So there's always a chance. But it's looking grim.
Not great indeed for ONECHANCE here, but let's say, ONECHANCE, they're not out of this yet. It's only 13 minutes in the game. Outer towers have not even gone down quite yet here, so plenty of time to scale up. And do they have the ability to bring this game back in the mid to late game?
They do. If they're able to find picks around the map with this Volibear and with this Lux, I think they stand a really good chance. The problem is the way that things are panning out right now. You have rotations where people are grouping together. Like you see Lux and Volley rotating together. So catching out, you see Lux and Volibear are rotating together, and Kindred.
Hold that thought here.
Oh my
Wow.
god!
Turns it on, takes the kill here. It's Faraz now. He's caught up. The Volibear goes for the play, but looks like he can't get it. So Faraz, a clean one and done solo kill and gets out.
That was really well played by Faraz. Used both summoners and the ulti. Got the Yasuo's flash as well. So super, super well played by him. Looks like we got another engage coming out.
Yeah, here we go. Onto the Kindred, who's going to pop the Lamb's Respite to stay alive for just a little bit longer. Can't quite get the Creeping Dread proc onto Wakanari. Goes down. Kuderek actually picks that one up here with the Q. Great to see that Karth is getting some kills here. And now the rest of the team, they're rotating on the bottom side, trying to look for that elusive first tower.
Yeah, I think Pyroin is just playing this game way too greedy. He's dying very needlessly, just going for meaningless things. Like right there, he wasn't going for a mark. He went for an ill-advised engage. He was caught in the enemy jungle. There was no reason for him to be on that side in the first place, as his mark is on the other side of the map. It doesn't make any sense to me, the way that he's been playing this game.
Yeah, it's the very kind of pop off like, oh, well, I'm really farmed. I've got 4 marks by 10 minutes. What's the worst that could happen? And well, that's exactly what the worst that could happen is you die on the wrong side of the map. 0-4 now. So maybe not quite the hero that ONECHANCE are looking for. And instead, that might have to be Faraz.
Yeah, and it was looking so good for this Kindred, as early on, having a gold lead on the Volibear and having a level lead, still having that level lead. It's so hard for you to just get marks when you don't have prio in your lanes, and they haven't, apart from mid lane. So it's a little difficult for him right now, but I think he needs to play a little safer for them to have a shot in this game.
So a little bit more safety here from Pyro we'd like to see is definitely some safety here on the second Rift Herald take. Plenty of wards and the rest of the team rotating up. Wakanari and Kuderek are in the area, but they shouldn't know this is going on. So second Herald should get picked up no problem. And that will give them the ability to maybe start shedding some of these early towers and get a little bit more map control. Oh, actually,
they're going to contest.
Sushi Killer goes in. Here comes the ultimate. Karthus is not going to be able to get the kill. Wakanari picks up Pyro instead. Wave 6 is in, but he's taking a bunch of damage here. Big shields on Sushi Kill, and meanwhile, Quacker on the backside here. Wow! The 2-man snipe from Wakanari picks up the triple kill. Excellent play here from the Lux, and that was looking like just an easy pickup here for One Chance. And instead, Illinois Academy, they take the fight. They kill everybody. They're going to get this mid lane tower now. They're in a great spot.
Wow. Wakanari played that absolutely perfect. Getting roots, getting the E's down, slowing people out, making sure Sushi Killa does not fall, able to heal him up, get the shields out. I mean, that was just super well played and ends up getting him a triple kill. Now 10 stacks on that Darksteel. We'll see if he elects to go for the Soul Stealer here.
Yeah, I mean, they were talking about Soul Stealers and Chancellor before the game. So, we might actually see it come out here. As we do have this Drake spawning up here, which would be a difficult fight here, I think, for One Chance. There is Sushi Killa, who's a little chunked, but with the gold lead just mounting in their favor, I gotta think One Chance, this might be one of their last chances to get back in.
Yeah, you need to have a really clean team fight here if you're going to have a chance in this game. Sushi Killa looking for people. He's looking to stun somebody, but they're starting the Drake up.
Yes, here we go. The Drake has already been started. Pyro's on it, has had some good smites so far here. As here comes Sushi Killa. He's looking for Stormbringer, goes in, but that is going to be the kill here for Pyro. He's going to jump over the backside. Wave Zix is the subject of aggression. He flashes out to safety as well. Monster Mash is in. He's looking for the ultimate, and he will get it down. Two-man stun. The Kali is going wild in this fight. Picks up the triple kill. Ultimate comes through from Wave Zix on the backside here, but can't get, or Wakanari can't get anything. Quacker forced to dash his way to safety. Wakanari running away from Wave Zix here. Gets the root of the Caitlyn. Should be able to walk himself out. But a really, really good fight here. Actually, here we go. Caitlyn ultimate. Wakanari is not out yet. There he goes. Finally,
so much shields.
Yeah, too many shields. But that was a huge fight here from One Chance.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you want. You want this Akali to get activated, get these kills, get items, and just one-shot their carries. That is the only shot you have at this point in this game. So for Akali to pick up a triple kill there, super, super good for One Chance. It definitely gives them a fighting chance, if you will.
Yeah, One Chance made that One Chance work out for them, and so you get another one after that if you make the first one work. So scaling out on this game, trying to get some more items in as we take a brief look here. Still a 3,000 gold lead here, though, from Illinois Academy, so they're not doing too badly, even despite giving that up.
Illinois Academy is playing relatively clean. Obviously, you want to see that team fight go a little better for them. Faraz is just playing completely out of his mind on this Akali. So it's just a Faraz diff that's keeping them in this game as of right now. But Illinois Academy on the bot side has played really, really well. This Karthus obviously gonna be completing that death cap relatively soon. And the Lux going for the Ardent Sensor for the Yasuo and the Volibear. So it's just it's a crazy game, I think. We're gonna see what this Kindred elects to do on the build path. As I see 2 longswords and a recurve bow. Not really sure what's going on there, but we'll figure it out.
It doesn't build into any item I'm familiar with, but I suppose we will see. Item 6 is actually, here we go, Sushi Killa. That is going to be the taunt here on the top side, but very, very durable Maokai. Not durable enough, though, as here comes the damage. He's still alive, but goes down eventually to Quacker here as Kuderic. They're looking for him. Faraz is in. He did get the Shen ultimate to stay alive just a little bit longer. No Shen ultimate. Oh! He goes down, but now Faraz has gone too deep. Shutdown traded for shutdown. Requiem is channeled. Pyroan takes most of his health, forced to flash away here from the Stormbringer. Now on the wrong side of the map here. Here comes the damage. Sushi Killa gets the Lamb's Respite out. Wakanari standing on the wrong side of the Lamb's Respite here, but he goes down. Daniel Park takes out Oshawott on the backside here. Harold gets a charge off. Everything is going crazy here, but at the end of the day, that is a 4-for-1 trade here in favor of Illinois Academy.
It's just really greedy by Faraz there to go for that kill for really no reason. And it's going to cost him the Baron. Daniel Park actually had a pretty good outplay on Oshawott and was able to take him down with the tornado. He like flash tornadoed him. It was pretty cool looking. We didn't get to see that on directed cam though.
Yeah, unfortunate. I was going to say I missed it, man. That sounds really cool. I'm going to have to watch the replay after this. But either way, Baron is going to be secured here for Illinois Academy in the wake of that fight. And like you said, Faraz, maybe a little bit of an overextension here saying, oh, I'm really big. I just got a triple kill. I can do whatever I want. Well, you can't do whatever you want at 22 minutes with Baron alive. So does go down. And now all the pressure right back in Illinois Academy's favor.
And really, they only lost a little bit of pressure. This game has been in their hand pretty much the entirety of it. I'm pretty sure they've had a gold lead since minute 1. And now that has expanded to almost 6K. And they're looking to close this one out as quickly as possible, I would think.
Yeah, definitely trying to get that down as the Drake here is going to be spawning up shortly. And so far, the Dragon has been in ONECHANCE's book here. Pyroan has been really, really good at getting those smites down, both under pressure and going for the steals. So if they can get to Soul Point here, maybe a chance for ONECHANCE to come back into this.
Yeah, definitely. Really, like your win con is going to be that soul. That's the only path you have back into the game, and unluckily, it is going to be the dragon soul or the mountain soul rather, which is not optimal for them at this stage of the game.
Not great. It makes Wavesix a little bit tankier, but doesn't really matter too much. Meanwhile, Illinois Academy, I think they'd love to have it with their frontliners and a little bit of safety against that Akali. It looks like they may not have a chance as the team's getting zoned out here. Actually, here we go. Sushikilla, he popped the Righteous Glory as well, but it's just a zone. Pyro off, as this is going to be the Drake secured here for Illinois Academy, and they should be able to go back to this 4-1 split push now that they've got Baron.
Yeah, and this Shen is looking huge. Almost has the Sunfire Cape complete, which in actuality would trigger a lot of my fellow caster friends and coaches, because a lot of people say that Sunfire Cape is a noob trap on Shen. I'm not saying I agree, just saying what I've heard. You can ask GBay99 or LS. Just saying. So but yeah, that Shen is looking huge. The Volibear's huge. I mean, it's just so hard for ONECHANCE to get back into this one.
Yeah, I mean, I guess when you're that big, you can afford to build noob trap items. It doesn't really even matter. No Magi Soul Stealer, by the way. Taking a look at the items here, did decide to just stick on that Dark Seal, so maybe not feeling himself too much, but 3-0, as they force Pyro out. This should be an easy tower to drop here. And really, ONECHANCE, do they have the ability to stall this out long enough to now get 2 more Drakes?
I'm getting flamed in chat for mentioning G-Bay, by the way. I just want to point that out. It's a nice meme.
Oh, yeah. So it's an older meme, sir, but it checks out here. Here we go, mid lane. Looking for Faraz. The bind is actually going to land, but the Cloud keeps him safe as they're going to go into Pyro instead, who stalls out a little bit of time here. Faraz might look for it on the end of the day, but no, Daniel Park takes Pyro down. Faraz is forced to back off here. Pick is picked up, and the pressure is going to continue here.
Yeah, Sushikilla is just huge on this Volibear. It's so hard for him to die at any point of this game. He gets rooted, though.
Oh, well, when you have that many shields and heals, it's really hard to kill that Volibear. So you can afford to make mistakes when that's how much you got.
Yeah, especially with the wind wall blocking all of the Caitlyn damage that they could possibly put out. This Lux shielding is absolutely absurd, even through the nerfs, by the way.
Oh, here we go. On to Sushikilla. Can they take him down? No, they can't. So many heals, so many shields. Faraz goes down, trying to kill the unkillable, and Quacker picks that one up here. Illinois Academy, they just are doing whatever they want here.
Yeah, this game has gotten pretty out of hand. For ONECHANCE, they really are running out of chances, so to speak, to get back into this one. The Kindred now 0-8, not looking very good on that front. How many marks does this Kindred have? Kindred has
8?
5.
5 out of 5. Okay.
Not 8, 5.
Yeah.
So despite Faraz's best efforts, this is looking pretty bleak for them as of right now. Obviously, their way back into the game is with picks with this Morgana, but it's just so hard when you have pretty much this Volibear with Lux around him at all times. Lux did pick up that Soul Stealer, by the way, so...
Oh, there it is. All right. So we got the Soul Stealer in the game. We'll have to keep track of that as we go on here. And I think it's only going to get more stacks as we proceed through the game here. Baron spawning shortly. And I got to think just this 4-1 is going to continue until either ONECHANCE can find a way to get a pick to break it off somehow, or until Illinois Academy, they pick up the Baron, and they probably end the game off the back of it here. But does ONECHANCE... Their characters are not great at playing from behind, but I got to ask again, is there a way for them back into this? Is there a way for them to play around and deal with a potential Baron?
To be looking for picks at this point. If you if you pick out anybody on that team, you can maybe go after this Baron and look for a 4v5 turn fight. But if not, you're really just going for desperation steals and things of that nature. So it's really, really hard for them at this point. But you have the Caitlyn Morgana, you have the ability to pick people out. They're just not utilizing it effectively.
Not effectively enough here. So here we go. Quacker looking on the backside here. Flash forward, actually. Here comes the Requiem. They're going to be able to get some damage down, but it's not going to get any kills. The Lamb's Respite is in.
Ooh.
The ultimate comes through over the top. Perfectly timed, but Pyro survives. Here we go on the backside for Roz. He's trying to do what he can to carry the fight. He's looking to get some damage down, but it's not quite enough. The team is able to peel back here. No one dies at the end of the day here, but Illinois Academy, they're going to force One Chance away. And with the Baron spawning here, low health bars, they might try to go for it.
Yeah, everybody really had to reset there, so this might be a free Baron for them here.
Yeah, so free Baron, lots of damage on both the Yasuo and the Karthus getting that isolation Q. So an easy Baron picked up here. Drake spawning on 17 seconds and really just out of hand now. Baron under Illinois Academy's hands. And
yeah, Shen utilized the teleport to try and zone them off of this Drake, or at least slow them down so that the rest of the team can rotate.
Yeah, Quacker, he's got to look to make something happen here as the Drake's down to 2,000 HP, looking for the smite here as this is going to flash in. Pyron does get the smite down here. They're onto the Caitlyn on the backside, though. Oshawott, nothing he can do. He is going to get the net away, but trying to find the way out as here comes the final spark. It is going to whiff, but it forces him to sidestep. Quacker, he's looking for the Shadow Dash. There it is. Picks up the kill. Faraz recalling on the opposite side of the map. Wave Zix all by himself. He should go down no problem here. Take some damage. Oh, he's surrounded by 3 people. That's an easy kill. And now with Baron, there was the Drake secured. They do have Soul Point, but I gotta think it's too little too late.
Yeah, it most definitely is too little too late. You have 30 seconds on Oshawott spawning. This might be the end of the game right here.
Yeah, this is going to be the first inhibitor tower under siege. Should go down absolutely no problem. They're still waiting 20 seconds here for Wave Zix, 18 for Oshawott. Not going to look for, actually, they will go here for the Nexus Tower push. Sushi Killa not sitting on the Stormbringer, so they can't afford to just die, but that's tower number 1. Frost tries to finally go in. He's using that cloud to try and stall himself out as Kuderik. He's taking some damage, flash away, but a great last breath is going to get them to safety here. Pyro goes down, no problem. Now the respawns finally come through, but it's definitely not going to be enough. They are going to take down Oshawott one more time for old time's sake. And here comes the ult. Doesn't matter. Illinois Academy, they're going to take game 1 in really lopsided fashion.
Illinois Academy looking like the team that we've seen all split. They really, really showing out. And that Karthus pick actually ends up being incredibly oppressive. Daniel Park showing up on that Yasuo as well. It's just, oh, man. That Kindred pick was kind of a monk at W.
Yeah, not really what you want to see out of that Kindred. And we were trying to say, well, they've got early stacks up. Maybe it's going to work out, but not so much. And really, even if we look at the damage graphs here, that Lux out damaging the Caitlyn and the Morgana both. So really, really lopsided game here. We're going to be hopping into a brief intermission, though, as we get ready to set up for game 2. Don't go anywhere. When we return, we'll have game 2 of Illinois Academy versus One Chance. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here getting set up for Game 2 of the Upsurge Contenders League Summer Finals here. Illinois Academy putting on a clinic versus One Chance, taking them out with some very smart flex picks and very good play. And now One Chance, though, we have swapped over. One Chance here, picking up the blue side, has their first picks and has to find a way back into the series.
Yeah, it was just really, really sloppy by them. Pyroan going for really greedy plays, trying to get his marks, and just not working out for him. We'll see what they elect to do, what kind of adjustments they make to their draft to try and enable Pyroan to be the Pyroan that we know, who just runs amok in the enemy jungle for the entirety of the game.
Yeah, so definitely try to enable Pyron again. And it wasn't all bad for One Chance. We did see Faraz had an absolute pop-off of a game, was doing so much damage for his team, so much work, and just couldn't make it happen at the end of the day. So are we likely to see Faraz back on an assassin again to try and enable him? Or is it more likely to see a flexible pick that can support the team even from behind?
I'd like to see Pyroan on another hyper carry, but a hyper carry that's a little more manageable, something like an Olaf. Even a J4 wouldn't be terrible for them to lock in. Um, but obviously Pyroan, his comfort picks being things like Nidalee and Talia, and they're being taken away from him. So um, yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what they elect to do with their draft here. It's gonna be pretty standard bans for the first three: Darius, Cassiopeia, and Ash taken away from One Chance, and then on the flip side, the Nidalee and Talia and Bard, as we saw in the first game. Shen
Wow,
going to
and
be
not
first
even a
pick as
thought.
well.
Yeah, that's just the Shen immediately locked in here for One Chance. So saying, hey, we'd much rather have prevent Quacker maybe from playing it, but that does give Illinois Academy the chance if they want to go for that Caitlyn Morgana bot lane or the Caitlyn Lux.
Yep, and they're gonna lock that right in. That's another oppressive lane. And it's like the opposite of what we saw in the last draft. You know, One Chance picking it away from them in the previous draft. So we'll see what they elect to do here. Obviously, they have the Shen locked in. I'm expecting them to pick another aggressive jungler, but a jungler that has more devices to be on his own. Looks like they're hovering Volibear. That's going to be locked in. So that's a really good jungler for Pyroan to pick up and kind of run amok in this game.
Yeah, definitely more flexibility and better ways to play from behind, as we saw that Kindred in the last game did not do very much once he was going 0-8. So hopefully the Volibear working out better for Pyroan this time around. Really thinking about this last pick here, would expect potentially an AD carry if they want to try and lock that in beforehand, and looks like it will be the AD carry. Ezreal is going to be picked up here for One Chance.
Super safe pick for them. Obviously can buffer the Lux bind and not have to worry about that Caitlyn trap follow-up. So it's a really safe pick with Ashe being banned out. Obviously you'd want the Ashe into Caitlyn, but with Ashe being banned out, really your power 3 AD carries are going to be Ezreal, Caitlyn, and Ashe. So and Olaf going to get locked in for Illinois. I like that pick.
Yeah, Sushi Killa grabbing that Olaf for some early pressure. We saw how well he was able to pressure things down earlier in the game. And now moving into bans here, Yasuo instantly taken away. One Chance saying, we do not want the Daniel Park back on that. Meanwhile, Illinois saying, take out the Blitzcrank to eliminate that hook threat and take out the Pantheon for a little bit of that top lane pressure, or actually probably at this point a mid lane pressure with those early dives. So One Chance now thinking about this last ban, would not be surprised if they tried to ban out something else here from Daniel Park. But I think he does have a pretty large champion pool.
Yeah, but you really got to take that Yasuo away from him. He's just so comfortable on it and so good on that champion, and has shown it all season long. Nocturne going to get banned out as well. So we'll see what Illinois likes to do, what they're going to blind. They're going to blind the Mordekaiser. I like it.
Yeah, really spicy pick here for Quacker. Definitely like the matchup into the Shen, being able to stop those level 6 plays just by pressing R and saying, nah, you're stuck here with me. Come play a while. So good counter pick here from Illinois Academy. And now One Chance here. They're going to have to lock in their mid lane here, a blind mid lane pick. So what are we kind of thinking that Faraz might be playing?
Faraz to play something like a Syndra here, to kind of negate what they're trying to do. But the comp that Illinois has right now, there's no stopping their run at you ability. There's just no way that you can do it. But I would expect something safe. Obviously you want, I would think Cassiopeia is banned. The only thing I can think of that they would potentially lock in is something like Akali again, and yeah, it looks like they're gonna do it.
Yeah, so that is going to be the Akali pick up here, and look at that beef there on One Chance with the Alistair, Volibear, Shen, huge old front line to try and enable the Akali, and that's going to be matched by a Zed here for the Daniel Parks. We've got Ninja versus Ninja in the mid lane. We were talking about volatile matchups last time around. I gotta think this is one as well.
Yeah, it is. Anytime you have assassin into assassin, it's gonna be a volatile matchup. I love the Zed pick here though. It gives you the ability to follow this Ezreal and really stick to him in team fights to try and burst him down. The only device that they're gonna have to stop that burst is gonna be the Shen ulti. And if you're Shen ulting the Ezreal in a fight where you're already in a 5v5, like Zed will just go right through that shield. So yeah, I really like both comps here. I think this is a way better draft from One Chance. But I still have to give the edge to Illinois Academy here. I love what their comp is looking like they're able to do. And I love it. I love everything about their comp.
Some really, really solid counter picks here and really good style of play from Illinois Academy. But now I do want to talk about it because we did see it happen the last game twice. You had Illinois Academy, they had the Shen and the Volibear. They went for those early level 6 dives. Now One Chance, they've got the same combo. They've got an Alistair to boot. Is this Illinois Academy basically just saying, hey, bot lane, you guys are getting dove at level 6, have fun? Or do they have a way to stop that play from occurring?
Yeah, I think they do. Obviously, you have this Mordekaiser. If the Mordekaiser has teleport available and is able to come down and ult that Volibear, or the Shen, you can turn the fight really, really easily with the amount of CC you have from Caitlyn and Lux. And just the oppression that Olaf has, where he's just wailing on people. I don't know. It's hard. Olaf, in essence, is a sin. To pick in the draft, but I really like it here because it gives them so much. Like the Alistar can't stop anybody from engaging. He can't stop Zed. He can't stop Mordekaiser. He can't stop Olaf. I mean, it's just really hard. So oh man, I really like that comp. I'm gonna probably
really,
steal
really
that
solid
for my scrims tomorrow.
Yeah, already taking some notes out here. But so then we're talking about, so Monster Mash as Alistair, maybe not that much he can really do to affect the dive from Illinois Academy. So what is the thought process then behind saying, yeah, we'd like to pick up the Alistair when you have lots of other options on the table, like picking up the Morgana, like picking up maybe another tanky support that has something else he can do?
I'm not entirely sure what the thought process behind the Alistar is. I don't really see a world where Alistar is better than something like Nautilus or something like Leona. The only thing I really like about the Alistar pick is obviously the ability to headbutt the Zed away from the Ezreal. But he's not adding anything into the lane. The only gap closer he has is that headbutt, and I don't like the pick at all. I gotta be honest. It's not
Okay.
it's not my favorite. When you look at how many tank supports there are, and if you're making a tier list of supports, right? Obviously your S tier supports are things like Rakan, which I would have liked here. Lulu, Soraka. That's like your S tier, right? But if you have a tier below that, you would have things like Thresh, you would have Nautilus, you would have Leona, which all three are better than Alistar in almost every way. So I know I'm harping on this pick way too much, but I don't see any reason why that champion would be locked in here.
Okay, so One Chance maybe just deciding, well, we're thinking Alistair, maybe ran out of time a little bit and just picked something they knew would provide value, but maybe they can execute on it. We'll have to see how they end up playing that out at the end of the day. But like you said, Illinois Academy, you're really preferring this team composition over One Chance, and is that because the Alistair just doesn't provide anything at all, or is it because they have better tools at their disposal?
They just have so many devices to get onto every member of the enemy team. You have the Olaf Ragnarok, you have the Death Realm, you have the Zed. it's really difficult for Ezreal to be able to do anything when you have 3 champions that are able to just negate the entirety of your disengage.
Right. Well, so it does sound then like Illinois Academy's team is going to be very difficult if they are playing from behind, as you don't have the ability to play that front-to-back team fighting style with Mordekaiser and Olaf, unless I misunderstand.
No, I would agree with that. The only thing that would be good for them, obviously, if they fall behind, is the ability of this Mordekaiser to ult one of these big guys that are sitting in front of the Ezreal and take him completely out. So even if they are behind, they still have some decent devices to stay in the game. You have the Lux Bind, you have the Mordekaiser Death Realm, and I really, really like this Mordekaiser pick here. I don't know, man. It looks like draft diff to me.
Draft diff once again here. But so then, one chance here, what are they looking to try and pull off in this team, knowing that, like you said, they're at maybe a disadvantage here in the draft, knowing that they have this sort of team composition? We talked a little bit about the level 6 dive that they can opt into, but what are their win conditions kind of looking for in this game?
Their win condition is Ezreal. If Ezreal is able to scale up, get the things like the Iceborne Gauntlet, get the Death Stance, to where that Zed is not able to one-shot him anymore, and he's able to just deal a ton of damage with this front line in front of him, it's going to be really good for them. And they have a lot of ways to get this Ezreal to a point where he's in a good spot once you have these ultimates available. So I really like that part of their comp. It's just a matter of whether or not this Shen and this Volibear are going to be able to get ahead of Mordekaiser and Olaf, right? So, I mean, we'll see what happens. Like I said, this is UCL. Anything can happen. All these players are ridiculously good at the game. So it's it is what it is, right?
Exactly. And so one chance here, they're looking for their second chance in order to bring this series back against Illinois Academy. Maybe not the greatest of team compositions, but they have a plan, they're sticking to it, and they're going to plow straight ahead. We are going to be hopping over into a brief intermission while we wait for the game to get live. But before we go, I want to talk to you guys about Kono. If you're looking to take your game to the next level, it all starts with your peripherals. From keyboards to keycaps, mice, and more, our friends at Kono have got you covered. Kono works with the world's best designers, inventors, and makers to bring you some of the best gaming peripherals around. They've been huge supporters of us here at Upsurge and have made generous contributions to our prize pools. If you need to find a new keyboard, check out the Hexgears X1 RGB low-profile Bluetooth mechanical keyboard. You can use the discount code UpsurgeGG for 7% off your first order. For more information, head over to Kono.store to check out all they have to offer. That's KONO.store. Kono, discover amazing products. Go ahead and hop on over there, and when you come back, we'll be on for Game 2 of One Chance versus Illinois Academy. Welcome back to the Rift, ladies and gentlemen. We are here for game 2 of Illinois Academy here versus One Chance. One Chance, of course, going down in game 1 in pretty hard fashion, but they are on the blue side here. They are back with a vengeance. They've got Faraz on his Akali yet again and looking to try and equalize this out. So we have a couple shenanigans here going on from Illinois Academy, maybe looking to get some early vision.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to try and get a ward here for the top side for this Olaf, maybe to look for an early invade as Olaf would just run over the Volibear in a 1v1. Or they might be able to take something here, but they're getting behind the Shen.
Yeah, sneaking around. They're going to spot out Wave 6 here. He is going to get rooted up. He takes some damage. The trap is down, and he's just crowd control that whole time, but he gets the flash away. Razor Shuriken can't finish it off, but Daniel Park flashing in with that Ignite. Great heads-up play, and he picks up first blood yet again.
Daniel Park now has no summoners in the mid lane and has a big old target on his head. I like the moxie to be able to flash Ignite and secure that kill. But he does have a target on his head for Pyro, and now we're going to see what happens. As while that was going on, they were able to get a ward onto the bot side of this jungle. So they'll be able to spot out where this Olaf is at. While on the flip side, there's some vision on the blue buff to know where Pyroin is at. So I like it so far. I like it.
Yeah, so junglers are going to be tracked, trying to keep track of where they're at. And Sushi Killa, though, maybe a little bit more important to know where he's at, as we all know the strength of the early level Olaf, especially if he looks for something in the bot lane. And yeah, that is going to be a target on Daniel Park's back, but that early gold, really, really big on an assassin pick like the Zed.
Yeah, and not only the early gold, but the early XP is going to be really useful for him as he looks to get level 6 over this Akali. You get a lot of XP for a solo kill. Obviously it wasn't a solo kill, but you still get a decent amount of XP from it because he was by himself when the champion died. So that's looking pretty good for him, I think.
Quite a strong spot here. Level 2's finally come through here for the bot lane, and this is Oshawott and Monster Mash just backing away, realizing they have no pressure at all into this just oppressive wave. So that lane already kind of going as we expected. And I think it's going to be important here to track Pyro and where he's at, trying to make something happen on the Volibear. We said we wanted him with something he can run amok with, and I think the Volibear are going to be much better at doing that than the Kindred.
I would agree. The only thing that I don't like about the Volibear is it's into Olaf, and if you run into Olaf while you're trying to steal things in the enemy jungle, you're gonna have a bad time. It's just it's not going to be the buenoest of affairs. I'll tell you that much.
The buenoest of affairs. I like it. As they haven't come into contact quite yet. This is going to be the Scuttle Crab warded up. The bot lanes are rotating here to try and guarantee their jungle has a little bit of pressure. Pyroin is on the crab.
Might be a
He's going to get
skirmish.
spotted up. They're looking for maybe a smite fight here. It's not going to happen as he gets rooted. The shield comes through Pyro and just makes sure he gets the Scuttle Crab down. He is going to take it as here comes the fight. Kuder trying to trade back on Faraz on the backside here. Ignite actually goes on the Sushi Kill, but Faraz now on his own wrong side of the map. He does have the Twilight Shroud to get himself to safety here. As now they're back on the line here. Wakanari taking a bunch of damage, but Sushi Killa, he comes with the first kill of the fight here. Daniel Park, he's not going to survive. He gets taken down as the headbutt is going to come through. Sushi Killa back off, but now Monster Mash, subject of aggression here. He gets taken out. Oshawott by himself. He is going to be able to kill the Caitlyn off here. The flash away is going to try and get him to safety as Sushi Killa. He's still looking. He's got the vicious strikes, and he takes him down. An absolute clown fiesta there for the crab, but at the end of the day, it's a 2 for 4 in favor of Illinois Academy.
That is so bad. That is so bad for One Chance. That is not what you want to see. Kills going over to Caitlyn, kills going over to Olaf, free assist going over to Zed. Oh, man, that is just really rough, man.
But
that is not the start you were hoping for.
You got the crab. Right? Always what you want to see there, making sure, putting that in chat. Worth, I got crab.
Yeah, got crab, got it, Worth. Just gave Olaf 2 kills. In an already bad matchup for Volibear, no problem.
Oh, yeah. Well, so already maybe a little bit down, but did pick up a couple of kills there. Oshawott did get the 2 kills, so is going to come back to lane with the Sheen. So at least a little bit of pressure. And we mentioned, the bot lane pressure potentially in the last game didn't really happen, but maybe there's a chance to try and get Oshawott ahead as he does have those early kills.
Yeah, I mean, Oshawott is really their like I was saying, he's the reason why you built this comp. He's your carry. He's the guy that's going to scale into this game and be your your fighting chance, essentially. I'm trying to use other words other than chance, but I couldn't think of one. I'm sick of the chance pungs already. So, um, yeah, that's your way into this game is having Ezreal be activated and having Ezreal scale up. But Ezreal already down so much CS, only has those 2 kills to his name, and that's pretty much it. It's gonna be really, really hard for them when this Olaf is running around and trying to kill people. It looks like he's gonna start up the Drake as well.
Yeah, so trying to make some of that early pressure work for him as he does have those 2 early kills. So just goes for the Ocean Drake, which is such a big deal here if they can pick this up early. And Pyro's on the wrong side of the map. So this is just going to be handed over to Illinois Academy, looking so good for them in this early game.
Yeah, Illinois Academy, like I said in draft, they've been just really
Oh, here we go.
insane
Death Mark.
drafts.
Twilight Shroud, a good play from Faraz to keep himself alive.
They've just had really, really insane drafts. Props to their coach for giving them the tools to be successful. But you know, Faraz's Akali is nothing to scoff at, and we'll see if that gets going eventually.
Yeah, we saw how well he was able to do, and maybe that is one of the other chance for one chances. Actually, here we go. A little bit of aggression. Pyro trying to run down the Olaf. Don't know if you want to do that, but at least chases him away from the ward to be able to pick that up.
Yeah,
And so this is looking very, very similar to last game in terms of how the lanes are getting ahead early on, how Illinois Academy are able to pick this up, and what are the kind of mistakes that One Chance are making in order to give up these early plays?
I think the big mistake is again, it's Pyro and over aggressing and Pyro and greeting for things that he doesn't need to greed for, like that crab, for example. There was no reason for him to be there when his bot lane didn't have prio. Um, Obviously, Faraz had prio and was able to rotate first, but when the enemy bot lane gets there first, you're really just you need to sack that crab. There's no reason to go for it, and he ends up burning his flash. It just it, I don't know. It's really rough, man. I expected a little bit safer gameplay from Pyro in this game, and I'm just not seeing it.
Not quite. So might have wanted the the Olaf pick instead. As I don't know if that was in the first round draft for Illinois Academy. So maybe the Olaf might have been a better option, but stuck on the Volibear does at least have the ability to go for that dive in with the Shen and the Volibear, both level 6.
Here
Hold that thought,
comes
Pyro. He
Olaf.
gets spotted out. I was going to talk about a level 6 dive, but that doesn't even matter. Both ults are used to get the Volibear to safety. And now Quacker, he's all on his lonesome. He's trying to make
Look
sure
at
his
Quacker.
jungle gets out. Actually, he flashes forward for the Death Realm. He should be able to take down the Volibear, no problem. Plenty of time left on the clock. And now Wavesix, they're trying to chase down Sushi Killa. He will go down. The shutdown gold picked up onto Faraz, which is a big deal. But Daniel Park is there, and he goes down. The bot lane, meanwhile, is rotated up. A Death Mark is still available. Zed trying to get the damage through on Oshawott. That will be the pop. That is the kill. Monster Mash now on the front side of the fight here, but I don't think he's long for the world regardless. The headbutt, a flash in. Daniel Park picks up the double kill now. Does get the damage through. The pullback is there. Wavesix on the run. One more Razor Shuriken should be all it takes. Daniel Park looking, waiting, missing. But at the end of the day, they cannot be too upset with what they picked up there. Illinois Academy making it look easy.
They really are. Man, Quacker's Mordekaiser is something to behold. I will say that. That is a man amongst boys, if you will.
Yes,
Sushi
here we
Killa
go
gets
again.
that.
Fighting again for the crab. Pyroin didn't get this one, but he still wants to keep going. I don't know if you want to fight a Olaf at full conch stacks, but they are going to keep it moving, and he takes the kill easy. He flashes forward, actually, just to make sure the Akali can't pick him up. But Pyroin, what are you doing?
He's playing so greedy. I don't understand why. It doesn't make any sense to me. I'm starting to think Pyroin was paid off or something.
Well, to be fair to the guy, this is Contenders League Finals. You made it. You're down a game. You're maybe feeling the pressure a little bit, and you're thinking, oh, I got to get this crab. I can do it. It was super close last time. And instead, you give up another kill. So might be the pressure getting to him just a little bit.
Yeah, and it could also be just a ridiculous amount of tilt from how that first game went. Um, I don't want to speak to anybody's mental as I don't know. Um, but it just appears to me like he's trying really hard to get himself activated and get himself in these games, but he's just not doing it in a safe manner.
Yeah, not quite able to make it happen. And now looking at the kill score as well here. 3-1 on the Zed, 3-1. Oh, hold that thought. 3-1 on the Zed, going for the solo kill into Faraz, but looks like directed camera walked him away, so he must get out safely. And indeed,
Oh, the flash.
flashing away. Daniel Park can't pick it up as he doesn't have the summoner spell. As here we go, Pyron on the bot side. Wakanari, he takes the damage. Good flash away, but the Stormbringer comes through here, now trying to finish off the kill. He's surviving just barely. A flash forward. Wakanari does finally go down. Kuderek DPSing on the backside here. Pyroin all by himself, though. Sushikilla kills him yet again. And now Daniel Park. Here comes the Kalen ultimate. The headshot is going to land on Oshawott here. He goes down. Quacker has come in. He finishes off the Alistair on the backside here. It is a slaughter, and Illinois Academy are happy to oblige us with some kills.
Man, this whew. Yeah. This game is looking really rough for One Chance at this point. That's going to be 2 dragons going over a 7K gold lead here at 12 minutes or 11:30 rather. It's just I don't understand why they're going for such desperate plays so early into this game. It doesn't make any sense to me. I obviously I am a completely unbiased viewer, but I genuinely like I don't know why they're going for these plays. It doesn't make any sense to me. I feel like Freak watching LCS right now. I don't get it. I'm so confused.
Oh,
Quacker's gonna
actually
solo
just
kill.
walks onto the lane and takes the kill, easy as you please. Trying to look for the way out here, but does get smote down. He's looking for the pullback and gets it.
Wow.
Survives the frenzied maul, just barely sub 100 HP. Now he's all by himself, though. I don't think he has any way out here. He goes down, and now Faraz is going to be able to try and make this play happen. As here comes the Zed, here comes the Olaf. They're looking for the play. Final Spark is going to miss. Sushikilla picks up 1. He's going to be able to get the healing off. Pyroan goes down again. Double kill now for Sushikilla, and he's not done. Ace in the hole comes through over the top side here. Monster Mash does get the head bet back, but this is going to be a pickup on the undertow. The slow is going to land. Sushikilla, I don't think, is going to stop until he has killed off the Alistair. Decides he's done with fish. He wants beef instead, but Kuderek decides he wants it. He flashes forward, picks that one up with a headshot here. 17-5 in favor of Illinois Academy, and this looks like is going to be a fast one.
Helm, what is happening in these games?
You know, I say a lot of words when the fights are happening. I don't even know what's happening in this game.
What is going on, man? I don't understand. This is the grand finals of UCL. And it literally looks like a 1 seed versus an 8 seed. I'm so confused right now.
Yeah, well, and even in game 1, we had a relatively close matchup. It was, you know, obviously Illinois Academy, they had the lead the whole way through, but at the very least, there was one chance. They showed some signs of life. They were able to get Faraz on some pop-off plays. They showed that they had a spark of greatness there that we were really hoping to see them come back with. But so far, this game has been night and day for One Chance.
Yeah, and it really just goes back to drafts, right? I mean, you lock in this Alistar who has absolutely no reason to be in the comp. You lock in Volibear blind when you've locked in an Ezreal and a Shen. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. I don't get it.
Oh my goodness!
Oh my goodness gracious!
Takes the damage. Don't even need the ace in the hole. They just take that one easy as you please. And Pyro, he's not having a great series.
Pyroin, I've seen Pyroin play. This isn't, you know, obviously I've casted UCL. I've been around for this whole split, and Pyroin has been a solid player for One Chance, and to see him perform like this is really disheartening and honestly a little confusing. As he's been really a rock for this team all split. Maybe just the pressure getting to him, like you were saying. I'm unsure.
Yeah, well, we've seen this matchup before, once again, like we were talking about before the game, and they were able to kind of make it happen. They went 2-1, Illinois Academy. They didn't win the series, but at least One Chance was able to take a game off. So I would expect them to try and bring it back, especially for game 3. And I got to think a team like One Chance, they're at their strongest when they only have one chance left. So we'll see if
Oh
they're able to bring it
no.
back later. But I don't know that we need to consider the rest of this game. 10K gold lead already at 15 minutes. It's going to be so hard for them to come back, even if they have a way back in.
Well, Faraz.
Yeah, he's looking to make the play. Daniel Park, he's going for the outplay here. 2 shadows to teleport back to if he wants to go for it. Faraz did survive the explosion. Here comes Daniel Park, and looks like he can walk out of it with the Yomus, but he doesn't want out of it. He wants the kill first and picks that one up. Zed doing Zed things, man. Love to see it happen.
Yeah, you love to see this Zed just have a ball of a game like this, able to do basically whatever he pleases. As Sushi Killer running down Pyro and yet again.
Oh, flashing away as the reckless swing comes through, takes it. That is going to be Herald dropped on the bottom side here. These are two inner towers falling 16 minutes into the game. And Wavesix up on an island hasn't really even been able to affect the map with the Stand United.
Yeah, man. I always want to see Shen. I'd love to see Shen, and I'm really glad that Shen got these buffs so we could potentially see him in Worlds and see that pick be going back into prominence. But Shen and a Mordekaiser are so hard, man. That matchup is so difficult for Shen. He has to go adaptive helm. First item, and if they have an AD jungler, he just melts the Shen. It's just so hard for him to do anything.
Yeah, very difficult. And that was their first pick as well. They said, Wavesix, hey, do you want the Shen on the first rotation here? We're going to grab it. We're going to pick it away from Quacker. We're going to make sure we have the strength that the Shen can bring with the Volibear combo even. And it just wasn't able to work because Quacker picking up that Mordekaiser. So maybe a flex was needed in the next game, banning away the Mordekaiser instead.
Yeah, or maybe just banning the Shen in general and just ensuring that that Illinois Academy don't grab it for game 3. Because we saw Quacker really able to perform on that. And I'm almost positive Wave 6 doesn't have Mordekaiser in his pool. It's just you have to ban so many things right now, right? You have to ban Asher Caitlyn. You have to ban it's really tough, man. Drafts are really hard right now. I don't see a reason for them to. I'm hard flaming this Alistar pick. It just it really like. Oh man, it makes no sense.
Oh, here we
Channel.
go. Double ninja dive comp on Daniel Park here on the bottom side. He's trying to go for the outplay here. The dash through, the flash away. He looked for the faker play and couldn't make it happen. Faraz picks that one up with a little help from the Shen there. So Wavesix, hey, we talked about him. We flamed him. He finally got a play in with the Stand United in order to make that solo kill happen. But Daniel Park, man, that was some fancy footwork, even if he did die.
Oh, here we go.
Wakanari all by himself, and this is some payback for the previous game. He goes down. Now Oshawott, he's going to flash away. He's going to stop Quacker from really being able to do anything with the Death Realm here as, oh no, never mind. He gets taken out.
Wow, that damage.
Quacker, I don't think there's any way out for him. He should go down easy as you please. Trying to get the pull back in. The damage, no, Faraz picks that one up. So hey, a little bit of gold back in the pockets of One Chance. Game stalling out just a little bit longer here. So maybe giving them a second chance at the ability to come back, especially if Illinois Academy keeps playing so aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, Sushi Killer's been playing out of his mind for this whole series so far. And really, this bot lane has done exceptionally well as well. Even into, a non-conventional lane. In the first game, they played Karthus Lux and did a great job just kind of chilling and out farming. And this game, the Caitlyn looking really good as well. So I don't know, man. What do you think the best way for One Chance to get back into this and maybe pull a reverse sweep?
I mean, at this point, One Chance, I think you have to look at the draft. You have to be able to deny the Shen, I think, entirely. Get that because Quacker has the counter pick. And if it's available, they'll first pick it. They've already shown that they have the desire to do so.
Oh my God.
Pyro goes down again. Oshawott now. The death mark is on. The Ignite is there. Does he live? Looks like he will. As Faraz now duels Quacker on the bot side here. It looks like he can barely even get his passive proc. He gets taken out, but Faraz, his base is falling in the meantime. But either way, so one chance, I think you need to remove the Shen. I think you need to pick up a winning lane for your bottom lane, looking for that early game power
Yeah.
instead. And you need to be trying to find, I think, a mid lane pick with slightly more utility to help your team out for when you're behind, because we know Faraz, great player. He's able to optimize. He's able to execute no matter what. I mean, even in this losing game, he's picking and winning these fights. If you have Faraz on a more supportive mid laner, I think there's a much better chance at him being able to aid the team from a place of being ahead rather than being on an assassin who, while he'll solo kill anyone he wants, doesn't have a lot else he can offer.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. The one thing that I like is like so obviously earlier in the season, Syndra was like the prominent mid laner, like she was the pick. But once those nerfs came out, she's kind of fallen out of it, right? Faraz was very, very good at Syndra, all split. But what I would like to see is them not banning Cassiopeia and electing to pick it instead for Faraz. I think Faraz has shown that he's fully capable of performing under pressure and has in both of these games. It just hasn't really worked out for them. So I'd like to see him on something like a hyper carry like Cassiopeia.
Yeah, see if they can make that happen. Instead, is Daniel Park here? He's actually getting the damage down. They're doing the double ninja dive yet again onto Daniel Park. He dodges out in the second half of perfect execution, but still goes down. Doesn't even make it look good this time around. As Quacker now, he's trying to come in, gets headbutted away. Sushi kill on the backside here. This is going to be a 4v5 shortly before the Drake spawns. As Quacker, he's still looking for Faraz. He wants to play. Wave 6 now, though.
Look at
He's
the
going to get straight down
Caitlyn
to the Caitlyn.
damage.
Misses the
Oh
shadow
my
dash. So
God.
that's an easy kill picked up. And now here they go. Olaf, he did land the undertow. Another one onto Oshawott. Oshawott just gets eviscerated there. Pyro and forced to use a Stormbreaker over the wall to stall for a little bit more time, but
He failed.
he
Flash.
fails the flash, goes down, ace in the hole on the backside. Doesn't matter that it did no damage because that's going to be 3 kills picked up for just Daniel Park. Junglers are still alive here for Sushi Killa, so they will be able to pick up the soul here. Mountain Soul to prevent the Akali maybe from doing what she wants. And here we go. Death Realm. Quacker has got Faraz caught out, but I don't think he can chase him around the terrain. There's just too much to deal with. Never mind. The Mordekaiser picks that one up. The Caitlyn is in the base. The soul will be claimed here. And even though respawns are coming up in 4 seconds, I think it's just a matter of time. This should be the second inhibitor falling 22 minutes into the game. Really one chance. I think you're trying to play a game you're comfortable with in order to try and go next with as good a mental as you can.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. I'd really like to see a draft improvement in game 3. They need to pick bot lanes that make a little bit more sense, and they need to pick a jungler that doesn't have any bad matchups. Something like Jarvan would be probably optimal to put Pyro in on to get him back and get his mental back into this game. But they're gonna elect to go for the Baron, it looks like.
Yeah, that is going to be Baron started up here for Illinois Academy, who, and I know we've spent a lot of time focusing on the detriments that One Chance have made, the mistakes that they've made, but we have to talk about Illinois Academy because they have seen an opponent who is down on the ground and they did not give him a chance to get back up. They said, we don't care. We're just going to go for it. We're going to make sure that we exploit every weakness here. And they've done a clinic of showing how to win a game when your opponent makes mistakes.
Yeah, for sure. Man, I'm saying is now that we're at this stage of the game, Pyroan has hit his 10 death spike. So we could see some turnaround here. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, well, does that only work on Yasuo and Yone, or does that work on any champion? I thought it was just the Sword Bros, but I might be mistaken on that one.
No, you could be right about that.
I don't know if that works on Volibear, but either way, we've got the last Nexus siege coming up here. First tower, here we go. We're going for the fight. The cooldowns are going through, and that's a shutdown to Caitlyn immediately. The damage is coming down. Pyroan is still alive, barely on the backside here. Faraz causing havoc, but he's not. He is going to go down. Quacker picks that one up. Wave Zix is the last man standing. Never mind. Oshawott somehow survived that fight. He's going to look as his Nexus blows up. As Illinois Academy, they take that no problem. They don't have to play this game smart when you have a 15,000 gold lead, and they're going to go up 2 games to none in this series.
And 2 decisive games as well. We're going to have to see a significant change for for One Chance to be able to pull this series out. We see it time and time again. Mental is something that is incredibly important in League of Legends in general. And if they're able to keep their mental, I think there are definitely some things to build on for them moving into this series. But a 2-0 deficit is going to be so hard, man.
Yeah, well, One Chance down to their last chance now. So one more shot. They have to try and reverse sweep it at this point. And like you said, there are some building blocks here to work with. Faraz has been putting on the clinic. Wazix has, at the very least, shown up. He's been able to do what his champion needs to do in every team fight. Same with Oshawott, who's just been that consistent source of DPS. I think, like you said, it's a draft thing. They really need to take their draft back to the table, especially now that they're back on red side. They don't have that first pick. Maybe say, hey, what can we get away with not banning in order to make room for maybe a Shen ban, maybe a Caitlyn ban, trying to remove something from the table that Illinois Academy has been beating them handily on, and try to build off of that. Especially in this game 3, right? If you're going to lose it anyways, you may as well try to throw your opponent off, do crazy things, because you never know, right? An opponent who's down so many games, you know, you might just say, hey, let's just ban some random crap, pick some random crap, and see what works.
Yeah, we're going to have to see what they like to do. I mean, what you want to do when you're down 2-0 is just pick comfort, right? So at this point of the only thing that you have to do is just pick everything that your guys are comfort on, and don't worry about comps anymore, right? Because you're down 2-0, you're going for what you think might be your last game. Just give yourself the best chance possible of winning, and just put yourself on all of your mains.
Right, so One Chance taking their best chance on their last chance. You know, all these chance puns, we can't get enough of them, but I'm sure you guys are sick of them. So we're going to throw it over to a brief intermission while we set it for game 3. Don't go anywhere. We have potentially the climax here of the Summer Split Championship coming up. So we'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're here setting up for Game 3 of the Upsurge Contenders League Summer 2020 Finals. One Chance is down to their last chance here as they have to reverse sweep if they want a chance at becoming the Summer 2020 champions. But they are facing very stiff competition, Illinois Academy, who's just looked so dominant over these last 2 games. And we were talking a little bit about this, Mikey, but there have to be some huge changes in the draft if One Chance want to get ahead in this next game.
Yeah, it's going to be really difficult. We want to see a totally revamped draft from One Chance to be able to give them the opportunity to get back into this series and maybe look for a reverse sweep. Yeah, it's going to be hard, but these teams are more than capable of doing anything that they set their minds to. And it's not unheard of for a reverse sweep to happen, even with these 2 games being so one-sided.
Yeah, definitely not unheard of. And One Chance, they haven't looked great in the last 2 games, but they still made it all the way here. They were still able to show up big throughout the Contenders League summer split. So the fact that they've gone 0-2 does not mean they don't have the opportunity. And I think we're kind of talking about just throwing away everything you knew about the previous draft, just trying to pick for comfort and see if you can't bring the game around, especially if you can get Pyro. And I think we've seen him have some reasonable talent, some reasonable pop-off potential here. Would love to see him get on a comfort pick and get back into things. As here we go for the draft. Illinois Academy, of course, they're going to ban away the Nidalee
ban the
and
Shen.
as they do. And there's the Shen ban, as we were talking about. So One Chance, they say, no, thank you, no Shen, please. And they ban the Lux as well. Now, this does mean some picks are through, though, that Illinois Academy can consider.
Yep, Ash and Caitlyn both open. Yeah, it's looking to be a spicy draft already. They're targeting Quacker in the top lane, taking away his 2 most utilized picks in this split since the Shen buffs have gone through. But we'll see what they elect to first pick. Looks like they're going to be Caitlyn once again.
Yeah, so picking up the Caitlyn, of course. Now, the Ashe is available to match it like we were kind of talking about. So that is on the table here for One Chance if they'd like to go for it instead. We also kind of mentioned the Ornn a little bit. Oh, that'd be interesting if they lock it. We talked about the Ornn right at the beginning of the stream today, saying, oh, hey, well, Ornn, both these teams do play. It's still a solid pick. Hasn't been played yet. It might be a chance to maybe bring it out if there's another tank versus tank matchup. But Lucian locked in for One Chance instead, electing to try and go for some early game pressure against the early game pressure Caitlyn.
Lucian into Kate.
Well, when you put it that way, it's not great.
I don't know, man. That might be a Lucian mid, though, and it might be Karthus bot once again. We saw it in game 1. It could happen once again. So these are 2 flex picks that could be happening, but as of right now, what I'm seeing is Lucian into Caitlyn, which is not the best matchup for Lucian, I will say.
Yeah, not the greatest, but like we said, there is the possibility of flexing it around. We saw Illinois Academy do it in game 1, so One Chance maybe doing it here in game number 3. Olaf now going to be locked up for Illinois Academy, so they will have that early game pressure. So maybe not denying Pyro a chance to play from ahead like we wanted to see him do. And Yasuo is up, so of course Daniel Park's going to grab this in the first rotation before it gets banned away. Or maybe not, hovering on the Echo here, which I think is maybe a slightly better blind pick. Back to the Yasuo, though, of course, that makes sense.
Yep, this is Daniel Park we're talking about. Pantheon, the counter pick, locked in on the opposite side. I like that a lot.
Yeah, One Chance saying, hey, we have an answer for this, and it's not banned out this time around. So Illinois, they said, we're going to take the opportunity to first round the Yasuo, and One Chance say, well, you never had a chance to ban out the Pantheon, so we'll grab that instead for the counter pick. So maybe trying to contain Daniel Park a little bit, and it is the kind of pick that Faraz can still pop off on if he's given the opportunity. Now, Mordekaiser banned out here in the first round, despite the Shen being also off the table, so maybe just saying we don't want to deal with Quacker on a carry pick. And Maokai looking like maybe Rakan as well here for the bans. Team's not taking a lot of time to think about it. They have a plan, and I think One Chance, they have a clearer picture in mind of what they want to do.
And I really like where their draft is headed as of right now. Obviously, that Pantheon could be another flex. Lucian Pantheon being a pretty good early game lane. But I just don't like Lucian into Caitlyn, and I really hope that's... Yeah, I mean, it might be Lucian top lane, too, which is why they're banning out all these oppressive top laners. But you never know what could happen. This is a UCL draft, and UCL drafts tend to be pretty spicy. So, we'll see what happens. But Kali being hovered again.
I was going to say, even more spice talking about it. We've got 4 solo laners here, all locked in. Going to be fun to see where One Chance puts everything. But like you said, Pantheon Lucian maybe is your duo lane, putting the Karthus in the jungle, putting the Akali in the mid lane. Lots of flexibility, which may leave Illinois Academy in a bit of a bind trying to think of, well, who do we pick top lane as an answer? Wukong, though, would be a decent choice into that.
I really, like... Man...
Yeah, so Wukong locked in. That can't not be a Yone pick here, as Yone is disabled on this patch, so would not expect that. That's just a fun hover. But the Wukong top lane does have a decent matchup, I would think, in the Lucian, as he has the ability to get onto that pick, especially through stealth. Could be possibly the Pantheon instead, as we do have a swap back over to the Nautilus, which I would expect it to be the bot lane. So we've talked a little bit about how strong that is in the draft as well. Actually, last second swap here to the Lulu Caitlyn instead. So
my
that
favorite lane,
Academy.
My favorite lane in the entire game to play as a bot lane main is Lulu Caitlyn. Caitlyn.
You sound so excited.
It is literally my favorite lane to play. Whether I'm playing Caitlyn or whether I'm playing Lulu, it is such an oppressive lane into everything all the time. Oh, it's so good.
See, I gotta respond my producer's words here. Who hurt you? Why do you enjoy that? But then it's gonna be the draft rounded out here. Camille is gonna be locked in as the last pick here for One Chance. So One Chance decided, hey, you can't abuse our bottom lane if we don't have a bottom lane. It's 5 solo lane picks. How are you gonna figure out where we're putting what? So really, really interesting strategy. But hey, we've kind of said you can throw everything off the table if you're One Chance. You're just trying to throw off Illinois Academy, and I think we can say they've certainly done that.
I'm kind of tilted.
Why is that?
This draft for One Chance, just it doesn't make really any sense to me at all.
Yeah, well, definitely an interesting one, I gotta say. Like we said, lots of solo lane picks here, so there is potential for a lot of flexibility, a lot of being able to swap champions over, so we'll kind of have to see how they decide to split it up, and it does make Illinois Academy's job a little bit harder, especially with how much of this can go for the back lane, and just really try to shut down Kudera on that Caitlyn pick. So I'm not going to say it's like the ideal scenario to be in, but there is a possibility here to make it work.
They're not giving their team any chances to get started, to even begin to throw. Like, it makes no sense to pick Lucian into Caitlyn. Literally, Caitlyn went B1, and then you pick Lucian R1, Karthus R2. Karthus going into the jungle, not flexing Karthus at all. Then you pick Pantheon against Yasuo, but that's going support. So you have Caitlyn and Lulu into Pantheon Lucian, which is a horrible matchup for Lucian Pantheon. You have Akali into Yasuo once again, where Yasuo outscaled Akali last time this happened. And then you have Camille into Wukong, where Wukong just runs over Camille. Oh my goodness.
Well, at the very least, One Chance maybe looking to throw things off, but if it doesn't work out, it will be a very quick game. We can definitely say that. Now, we do have Faraz back on Akali, so there is some pop-off potential here as well. And the one thing we can say for One Chance is if they're able to get ahead with any of these lanes, they all have the opportunity to just do some really, really good damage for the team here. The question is going to be, do they have the ability to find those opportunities to be able to get to that point where one of them can pop off?
Yeah, it is. They have like a chance to maybe lock down Caitlyn with the Camille, but where's the follow up apart from the Pantheon, right? Like the Lucian's not gonna dash into a Yasuo Wukong Olaf to kill Caitlyn. It's gonna be on Camille to kill her solo, and I can't see it happening at any point in this game. Like, unless Camille just hard stomps Wukong, which I can't see happening.
Not happy with the draft at all here, but with Illinois Academy, I mean, they've already had good drafts both games prior to this, and I think this time around, especially with no competition for anything whatsoever that they wanted to pick, they're very happy with the team they've drafted on.
I think they should be. And like I said, you know, you have to put your people on comfort for if you're one chance for this win or go home game, and they've done so. It's just a matter of, you know, they don't have any good matchups at all. Not one. So it's
all right. So play devil's advocate here in a game where you have no good matchups. What are your chances? How are you going to play that game out?
Karthus ultimate hope for the best.
Go for the late game strategy. Karthus farm.
Yep, Karthus just power farm the entire game. Don't stress, and hope that your R kills everybody. That's your win con here.
Well, hey, you know, we've had some weird win cons in the past, so really putting the pressure on Pyroan to try and make this happen, as we've done previously. Now, Karthus, I think, hey, at the very least, Pyroan, he's been having pretty negative score lines of late. At the very least, Karthus, hey, you die, you still got 7 seconds worth of DPS. There is some options there. Lucian Pantheon, maybe you're looking for some cheese. I would expect a lot of shenanigans here in the early stages of the game. So level 1s, does One Chance have potentially a better level 1 here than Illinois?
Potentially. Just because of Pantheon stun. I mean, you could get a pick if Pantheon takes that press the attack. You can do a significant amount of damage to somebody if he gets the stun with the auto attack, and proc set PTA. Apart from that, really, Akali beats Yasuo level 1. But I don't think... I mean, it depends. If Pantheon's able to jump onto Caitlyn and they can get the double PTA proc, then maybe they win that early. But it's going to be so hard for them in the bot lane to do anything against that lane. I just... yeah, it is what it is, boys.
Yeah, definitely going to be playing from behind here, but One Chance has no fear. They decided, hey, comfort is what we want, and comfort is what they got. So seeing if they can make it happen here in this win or go home game. We're going to be hopping into intermission here shortly, but before we go, we do want to take a brief word for our parent company, Unified Esports Association. Also known as the UEA, they are a Kansas-based company that oversees multiple products that specialize and operate as a dynamic pipeline within the esports industry. They provide shared experiences that directly serve collegiate, youth, hobbyists, and amateur video game players at every stage. They started as a small student group out of Wichita State University, and since then have grown to be a veteran organizer to tournaments and events throughout the United States, hosting tournaments for games like League of Legends, Rocket League, and Overwatch. For more information, you can check us out at uea.gg. We are going to be hopping into a brief intermission, but when we come back, we'll have Game 3 of Illinois Academy versus One Chance. Don't go anywhere. It's going to be a spicy one. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're here on the Rift for Game 3 of Illinois Academy versus One Chance. A must-win situation here for One Chance here on the red side. They have picked a lot of spicy champions here, and they're looking to go for some shenanigans here in the early stages of the game with that four-man stack topside.
Yeah, they're just hoping that they're going to get invaded on potentially. A lot of pings coming out on both sides here, but One Chance. This is your last opportunity to stay into the series and potentially win these finals. And for Illinois, you're trying to seal it up right here. You're trying to get this win and just close out the series and go about the rest of your evening. That's what you guys are trying to do right now. And they have the draft certainly to make that happen.
Yeah, definitely picked pretty much everything they wanted. You've got Daniel Park back on the Yasuo, Sushikilla back on the Olaf, Kuderek playing that Caitlyn lane. There's a lot of really powerful picks here for Illinois Academy. I think the biggest thing we have to keep an eye out for, we've seen them been able to execute on and capitalize on mistakes made early. We just have to hope that they don't get thrown off by the sort of oddities here that One Chance is throwing at them.
Yeah, and it's one of the things, people forget that some spices just leave you filled with regret a short while later. And this is one of those drafts where you have that amount of spice. You're either going to be feeling really good or you're going to be feeling full of regret, and we're going to find out which one it is.
Yes, here we go into the lane, of course, with the Caitlyn Lulu being the oppressive monsters that they are. How could you? And
Here comes.
Here we go. Okay, Pantheon getting the damage through here, so gonna have to try and see, I think, some early aggression here out of this bot lane. Pantheon Lucian, I have to think they just want to fight all the time. Actually, here we go. Quacker, he's procced. Conquer, looks like this is going to be Wave 6 backing away and yielding that pressure to the Wukong. And so far, Illinois Academy, they have, I think, early game wins in every lane. The question is going to be more or less if One Chance can make any of their lanes get ahead instead.
Yeah, I mean, if you can activate this Camille, you're going to have a really easy time trying to, jump on either Caitlyn or Lulu and go for kills in the late game. But if you don't, then I don't know how you kill Caitlyn ever.
Yeah, definitely becomes problematic, especially with that Lulu right there. We've seen how effective she can be at really keeping Caitlyn alive as Daniel Park trading very aggressively there. But again, I think Illinois Academy feeling very confident. They've won the last two games handily, and I got to think they definitely just have to play this game slow and steady and find their way into the later stages of the game, where at which point you can't kill a Caitlyn like you said. The Yasuo kills everyone he looks at, and you're not worried about Olaf falling off because your damage is just too high.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole point, right? You want Olaf to run amok in this early game, and you want your carries to activate once the game scales into the late game. This draft is just really solid all the way around. Little trade damage here. Oshawa getting really low, though.
Yeah, he is polymorphed. He is exhausted here. And here we go. Sushikilla is actually going to go into the tower. Actually, first blood, though, goes over to Kuderek. Teleport is going to come through, meanwhile.
Two of them
did take the kill to Sushikilla. He steps on a trap immediately. Wave 6 takes some damage. The teleport was actually followed up by Quacker, so top laners are bot lane now. A one-for-one trade. First blood still come over us. Here we go. Pyron has shown up here. They're trying to get the damage down to Wave 6 here, who might have bitten off a little bit more than he can chew. Quacker's trying to finish that one off. Wakanari is going to burn down there thanks to the Defile. Quacker, he can't finish the kill quite off. Here he goes. He finally gets it. A double kill now is picked up here for Pyroan, who is going to be able to take that one. And now Quacker, he is in a terrible spot. He takes one Skittle. There's nowhere else he can go. A triple kill now for the Karthus. Absolute clown fiesta in the bottom lane. And at the end of the day, somehow One Chance comes out on top.
This is happening right now. You have... Look, I said their only way to do things in this game is if Karthus scales, okay? Now you have a 3-0 Karthus at 5 minutes. A Karthus who has an R button, by the way. And, oh man, it's looking good for One Chance.
First item too. He recalled before that play happened for a Dark Seal.
Yeah, he's got 6 stacks already. That's pretty insane.
Yeah, so absolutely. So you're saying, oh, well, the Karthus has to scale but that'll never happen, right? Well, Clown Fiesta happens, and here we go. It is continuing. Daniel Park on the wrong side of the map. Monster Mash finally goes in, but actually gets the stun interrupted here. So here we go. Wavesix has even shown up. Daniel Park, though, he's not quite dead yet. Slow lands. Pyroan picks up another one. 8 stacks on that Dark Seal. 4-0. 5 minutes into the game. Caster's Curse is coming back on One Chance's side.
What is going on, man? This whole series has been absolutely insane. Sushi Killer looking for something, but it looks like, but they're not going to fall for that one. But yeah, man, Karthus is 4-0. What a turnaround for Pyroan. I mean, the guy went 0-8 in the first game, 1-10 in the second game, and now is 4-0 at 6 minutes on this Karthus. I mean, that is an impressive turnaround for him.
Especially given that we kept saying, hey, we want to see him on a pick that can run roughshod in the early game, that can win early. And he played the Volibear, he played the Kindred, he played champions that don't have to scale, right? And got beaten every time. Now that he's playing the Karthus, the pick that wants to scale, that doesn't do well early, he's 4-0. Like, everything about this is just turned directly on its head.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of it is my fault. I've sat here and flamed this draft for the past roughly 10 minutes. And I don't think I'm going to stop doing that. But this Karthus is looking really good. I'm going to say that.
Yeah, so Pyro in a good spot. Here they go, actually, onto Kuderic. They got the damage through, and here comes the Requiem. The damage is huge, and Wakanari just dies. Karthus, he's still farming blue buff. He doesn't even care. So Pyroan, almost a maximum stack Dark Seal already. The Pantheon 2-1. And One Chance, it looked like they've done it. They threw off Illinois Academy and just said, hey, we're just going to play random champions, and it's going to work. Somehow.
Yeah, look, man, I'm speechless at this point. I don't know what the hell is going on in this game anymore. I genuinely don't know what's happening. How is this happening? Wave 6. Oh, not going to go for it.
Oh, no.
That was a little ill-advised.
He's going to get traded on instead. There's the crushing blow. Quacker picks that one up. Easy kill. So he is going to be able to pick up that one for the team. And Illinois Academy, we have to say, despite how good the Karthus is doing right now, Illinois Academy, they are still trading back the Wukong at 2-1, the Caitlyn at 1-0. They have the ability to make this work if they play the game by the books here. But actually, here we go. Pyro and top lane Quacker with no mana. So this is going to be another kill. Maximum stacks on a Dark Seal Karthus at 8 minutes of the game.
5-0 Karthus, who's sitting on 1,000 gold. He has a 1,300 gold lead on the Olaf right now, and we are 8 minutes in. Woo!
So I gotta ask, because I gotta think that you have more knowledge about this. Is this normally how the Olaf Karthus matchup goes? Like, does Olaf normally go this?
Yeah, man. I was flaming the Karthus pick because it wins against Olaf. That's for certain.
Here we go. Bot lane. Sushi kills there.
God.
Flashes forward for the kill and picks it up. He didn't even need it, but he's going to be able to pick that one up. And they're going to go for this first tower blood here. But Herald was secured on the top side here. Pyroan might be able to drop it and go for the early tower plating, as plating is really going to kick in here against Illinois Academy. But I think they're going to get it regardless. But either way,
are they?
They might. Shelly looking for the slam. And they're going to get it. One chance they make it happen yet again. So they're really, really making this early game work for them in a way we haven't seen them do all game.
Oh, my goodness.
Though, in a bad spot. He just gets blown up, flashing the wall, but doesn't matter. Quacker should die again here. No problem. Pyroan taking his time, playing with his food. He picks up another one, goes dominating. But first tower blood now as well for the team. Quacker was able to pick up another kill there. This is just both teams just slugging each other.
Yeah, I love the way that this game is playing out thus far. It's a total 180 from how these games have played out so far this series, and I'm really liking this Karthus pick now. Now that he's 6-0, I think the pick is decent. But at the same time, I hate it. So it's really hard for me right now. I'm very, very conflicted. I'm loving this because of how action-packed it is and how little I have to speak.
Well, it's like they say, I gotta think, they say, especially when you're behind in a game, you just go for the high risk, high reward plays because even if they fail and you fall further behind, well, you weren't winning anyways. And I really feel like that's what One Chance has done.
Yeah. Yeah, I would definitely have to agree. The only thing that I think is kind of rough is all of their gold is on Karthus, right? I mean, Lucian's behind, Camille's way behind. I mean, Lulu's behind, but mid lane, yeah, mid lane's behind as well. Not by a lot though. There's Wave6 going on to Sushi.
Oh, might have been enough more than can chew, but Hextech Ultimatum does come down. Wakanari is coming to try and support his jungler. He's going to run into multiple members, get the kill, and now try to run out. He has that
Flash Ignite.
The Hex Drinker,
Oh,
which will keep him
Faraz!
alive. Faraz has to go over the wall here, and now he's looking for the kills on the backside here. The ultimate is coming through. The damage is big. Quacker didn't get there quite in time. The Karthus goes down. Huge shutdown gold. Faraz wasn't able to finish the kills on the backside here. He takes a bunch. The stun is in. Daniel Park flashing forward. He's going to dash himself back to safety, but go down to Oshawott, and now Wave6, he is back in. He gets the slowdown for the tactical sweep, but is rooted up by the trap and cannot keep chasing here. Again, a clown fiesta of a fight, but somehow One Chance win it, and they're going to come back for the Drake.
Game is dead even in gold right now. This Caitlyn has been performing relatively well. Obviously not able to finish that cold quite yet, but will be relatively soon. But I think the main talking point here is how big of a discrepancy this Wukong and Camille is at this stage of the game. Wukong has 2 levels. Quacker is really showing up in this game 3. He's going to be the real carry this game, I think.
Yeah, so far for Illinois Academy, they definitely need to rely on Quacker. And so far, Wukong's one of those champions that could just do so much damage and while being so durable. So definitely looking for him to try and carry things back. And I gotta think, if you're Illinois Academy, you want this game to slow down. You want to give yourself a chance to see the sucker punches that One Chance are throwing at you coming so you can respond to them.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. The only issue I have with slowing the game down is if you slow it down, Karthus gets only stronger, right? So oh my goodness, here comes Olaf.
Oh, here we go. Monster Mash. He takes a ton of damage. He's going to use that Aegis Assault to try and keep himself alive, but it doesn't even matter. Doesn't need the ace in the hole, as that will be another kill picked up here for Sushi Killa. Despite how this game has gone, that is still an Olaf, and he still does a ton of damage, so picks that kill up easy as you please, and the kill score staying bang on even. Gold starting to creep back in the direction of Illinois. Here we go. Pyroan. Looking for something can't find quite yet here. So this is going to be the teams gathering here in the mid lane, just jockeying for pressure. And actually, Oshawott, hey, he's kind of caught out by himself here. They're going to try and
Pyroan may be caught out.
Yes, here we go. Pyroan, he bit off more than he could chew. He is going to die, trying to look to get a little bit more damage through on a Dana Park. He is low enough, but oh, no, actually, there was not the ultimate. He didn't have it available, so he's going to go down. Now, here we go on a Kuderic, who's trying to get himself to safety here. It looks like that was going to be the whiff on the Shuriken, so Kuderic gets himself to safety, but really just...
Note that Wakanari, the Hugify line came out of Lulu, but the ultimate never channeled, so not able to survive that burst.
Yeah, you hate to see it happen here. And, well, Oshawott tries to go under the tower, take some damage for his trouble. But, man, what a game. And I got to ask, yeah, the scaling is on the Karthus, but is it more in Illinois Academy's favor, or are they better suited by just trying to end this as fast as they can?
It's really tough because you have a lot of champions. Like, the Caitlyn's going to outscale this Lucian. The problem with them slowing this game down is they have a Camille and a Karthus on the other side. Both of those champions are going to outscale their counterparts by a significant margin. Obviously, the reason we said that that Olaf beats Karthus is because of the early game oppression that Olaf has. But if Karthus can just bypass that by going 4-0 in the first 4 minutes, then it's really not going to happen. But this is a gold lead for Illinois Academy, despite being down in kills at this stage of the game, and a lot of that is attributed to the gold discrepancy in the top lane.
Yeah, so they are able to so far leverage the advantages they've gotten here. And now that Pyron has died a couple times, he's only down to 4 stacks on that Dark Seal. So maybe not in quite as good of a spot. This is going to be Herald here picked up as well for Illinois Academy. And I think they're just trying to stick to their guns, which is play smart, play slow, and just try to exploit advantages where you find them. That doesn't change no matter what weird picks your opponents are playing.
Yeah, very true. Here comes the Rift Herald mid. The culling going to be dropped as well.
Yeah, they are going to summon up Shelly here, who will be able to get her charge off and kill that tower, no problem. So that's a lot more map pressure
Comes
here.
Yola.
Actually, the flash forward is coming through. Backside, huge last breath is going to come through. The knockups are in. Quacker is getting the damage down. He's actually going to flash and survive. Backside, this is going to be Daniel Park trading back. A double kill for Quacker here as well. The Karthus ult, meanwhile, isn't able to get, I think, anybody here. So a great flank there from Quacker. Sushi Killa now, he's all by himself. He's going to try and do what Olaf does best and just wail on somebody. He's surviving for now, but he does get taken out that last auto attack. So again, just these crazy, crazy fights. Great flank from Quacker. And that is going to be Illinois Academy finally taking a fight.
Yeah, Illinois Academy looking good so far. They have about a 2K gold lead here in this game. We got a dragon spawning in roughly 15 seconds. So we're going to see who elects to set that up first. It looks like Illinois Academy may have priority over that as their bot lane may get there first. Nope,
And
it looks like I was wrong.
And these I got to think are the kind of the fun games to watch here too. Is actually, here we go. This is going to be the polymorph. Kuderic is going to get stunned up, but he is going to be able to cleanse that out. As here we go on the backside here, Camille is diving for the Caitlyn here, who's surviving just barely. Kuderic finally takes the kill into Wave 6 here. Daniel Park now is in. He is looking to try and get the knockup. Faraz, he actually follows him through the wall here. Should be able to pick that one up. No problem. That is going to be the kill. And now Quacker, he's on to Oshawott, who's taking up a decent amount of damage, but he goes down. The CC is enough to protect the mid laner here. Monster Mash now is forced back away. Pyroan, though, on the backside. He always had that Drake focus, even in the earlier games, and he will be able to take that for himself. Now, they are trying to chase him down, but you have to be scared of how much damage that Karthus does. They will allow Sushi Killa to clean that up, no problem. Again, it's going to be Illinois Academy winning the fight, but the Drake went in the side of ONECHANCE, and it was a Cloud Drake for more Karthus ults.
Yeah, it's pretty good for them to be able to secure that. Cloud Soul, not super optimal for anyone apart from the Wukong and the Olaf, but on the flip side, you don't really have much activation for Cloud Soul if you're ONECHANCE here. You don't really have any champions that utilize it to the maximum. I mean, it's pretty decent on Lucian, but the only thing that's good about Cloud Drakes is that it lowers Karthus's ult cooldown. The soul really doesn't do much for the champion. Daniel Park looking for
here we
Faraz.
go. We've seen this before. They're trying to make it work, but Grand Starfall comes through. Not even needed. Faraz picks that one up. We've seen it so many times now. Quacker, he's teleported into a bad spot. He's looking to get himself to safety. He does pop that cycle in order to try and get himself out, but it doesn't matter. There's just too much crowd control. The Hextech Ultimatum will not let him leave, and that's going to be 2 easy kills here picked up for ONECHANCE. And this is not a look we've seen for them at all throughout the entire series.
Yeah, we haven't seen Quacker really misplay any of his teleports, and there was just an ill-advised TP and him getting caught. So it's pretty unlucky for them, but still sitting on about a 4K gold lead, so they're looking pretty good still.
Yeah, definitely can't complain, but it's more mistakes being made. And Illinois Academy, I think they're trying to hold steady. I think they're doing a good job of it so far. And really, I think this game is going to come down to how much chaos can ONECHANCE have happen, how much can they throw off what the expectations are for the game here. And it's been a good look for them. The question is it going to be enough?
And that's really hard to answer, right? Because both of these teams scale in different ways.
Right, as here we go, Quacker, he's looking for the outplay here into Faraz, but the Karthus ult will come through and not make it very fair. Pyroan picks that one up. That is going to be more Dark Harvest. That's going to be more stacks.
Yeah, it's super good for Pyroan to be able to pick that up for himself. I'm just waiting to see what this Camille pick is able to do. Because as of right now, this Camille has been incredibly non-impactful. and hasn't really accomplished much at all during this game. And I really want to see Caitlyn get killed by her at some point, right? And that's the whole point of the pick. So we'll see what happens. But so far, I'm still gonna flame this draft because I hate it.
It's okay. I gotta ask, and I know you're not a fan of the draft, but if it wins, maybe we're putting the cart before the horse here. But if it wins, was it a bad draft? Right?
Yes. If it wins, it's still a bad draft. It just means that it worked, and it means that they outplayed the enemy team. It's still not a draft that you gave anybody a chance to do anything productive on.
Oh, well, here we go. I might have spoken a little bit too soon, as this is going to be the easy solo kill. Picked up Sushi Killa. Actually, he's going to get jumped on by Faraz, though, who that the Akali, still just an absolute menace, and they will be able to take that kill back 1-for-1, trading the junglers. And definitely not a great draft still, and we can kind of see where it's sort of faltering here in these sort of skirmishes.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Faraz is going to be Faraz no matter what champ you put him on. And it's been Akali every in, which I don't necessarily hate that part of the draft. I just hate the Lucian and I hate the Camille picks a lot. Like, despise them.
But the Pantheon support actually coming around on that, or
I like
is that another
I
one?
like Pantheon support. I just don't understand why you wouldn't put Pantheon mid into Yasuo when it's like the number one counter outside of maybe like Renekton.
Yeah, well, so far they haven't needed. As Daniel Park's been able to, Faraz has been able to do okay in the Daniel Park regardless. So might be looking at that as actually, here we go. Grand Starfall is going to come down towards the bottom side, but looks like this is going to be Quacker getting himself to safety, and we're setting up for this Drake here. Both these teams going to jockey for position, and I got to think the team fight here from Illinois Academy is going to be stronger.
Yeah, you would think. But it's just a matter of execution, right? And that's going to be the key for any draft, for any team comp, for anything all the time. Here comes the culling.
Yeah, culling is going to come down over the divide here and is going to be answered by the
oh my god!
Actually, oh my god! Wave 6 just dies immediately. Quacker now is on the flank here. Monster Mash forced to use that Zani's Hourglass, but he is going to go down. Frost on the backside trying to cause chaos. Here comes Requiem over the top. That's going to be a couple kills picked up, and Quacker and Sushi Killa, they are too weak to keep going. Actually, that's going to be another kill there for the Karthus. Faraz is on a killing spree. Pyroan picks up a bunch. Inexplicably, that is going to be a team fight win here for ONECHANCE, as Faraz maybe feeling himself. Does he take this back in? Does not get Lee Syndrome. Will be able to back away and just go claim the Drake. And ONECHANCE, hey, they're able to execute. They're able to make it work in part because of how big that Requiem is.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane how much damage that's doing at a 10 kill Karthus now. It's going to be really oppressive. Here comes Sushi Killa, though.
Yeah, Sushi Killa's shown up. He's going to be able to take the kill into Oshawott, no problem. Now looking for the play on Faraz, but he's left his Shroud. He no longer has any ability to try and survive this. Might try to go back in. He does take the Lee Syndrome, and it does pay off. Shutdown gold picked up, and now Quacker, he's going to go on immediately kill Faraz, no problem. And back on the Drake. Junglers are coming. Does Pyroan get in range fast enough? Does have Flash if he wants to try and opt for it, but it doesn't matter. Quacker knocks that one down. Now sitting at one Cloud Drake apiece.
This game is getting spicier by the second. I can feel it in the back of my throat. You know what I mean? I need some milk badly for how much spice is going on right now.
I was gonna say I might want something else instead of milk, just to dull the pain of what this game is.
Yeah, here's a fun drinking game for you. Every time I flame the draft, you take a shot.
Oh, geez. All right. I got to be able to keep drafting this game, so maybe not so much. But either way, here we are 24 minutes into the game. Baron has spawned up, and yes, there is still a gold lead here for Illinois Academy, but the question is it too little too late? Pyroan has already gotten to the stage where all the Karthus has to do is press R, get to maximum stacks on the Leandry's tournament, and then ult, and just let his team clean up from there. So does Illinois Academy, can they win a team fight convincingly enough that Pyroan doesn't just pentakill them on the backside?
I mean, if Caitlyn doesn't net over the wall into Illusion and immediately die, I think they have a shot at winning team fights. But in that last fight, Caitlyn netted over the wall and into basically melee range into Illusion, and that's never where you want to be if you're Caitlyn. So that's the
Right.
reason that went south for them.
As here we go, Quacker actually looked for the all-in, but Wavesix able to just walk away from that one, no problem. So it is going to be cycling down at least for a little tiny bit here. And really, since this game has really gotten slowed down, where are Illinois Academy going to be able to look to push? You got to think they have to use this gold lead. How are they going to close this game out before that Karthus can get any bigger?
Yeah, it's an interesting prospect to try and end this game in an early fashion when the Karthus is as strong as he is. Um, it's really tough. But again, the longer this game goes out, the weaker Pantheon gets, the weaker Lucian gets, and you know that's your win con anyway. Is the Caitlyn? That's the whole reason you picked the Lulu to activate that Caitlyn. So, um, anything can happen in UCL. Uh, Anything at all the time.
And we have seen it this game so far with how
Absolutely.
this has gone. Is actually the Quacker looking for Monster Mash around on the top side there. Pyrone takes a bunch of
Ragnarok.
damage here. Now Olaf is going to Ragnarok directly onto him. They have taken him down. Faraz is low. Faraz goes down. This will be Kuderik dying, but the Karthus ult is not enough to convincingly win the team fight. And this time around, here comes Daniel Park. He is still sitting on the last breath here, looking to try and get onto the Lucian, flashing forward, but he is dashed away from. It doesn't matter, though, as the Lulu ult comes through. It's enough disruption. Double kill now picked up for Quacker here. The ace is in, and that might be all Illinois Academy needed to break this game open.
Yeah, that's the fight that they were looking for. They were able to kill the Karthus early enough for that ultimate to not proc as many Dark Harvest stacks and do enough damage to really kill anyone apart from Kuderik. And that's exactly what you're looking for if you're Illinois Academy. And now you're sitting on a Baron. You're sitting on about 6K gold lead. And you're really going to be looking at executing that exact thing every single time you fight them. You want to kill the Karthus early enough, and you want to basically kite away from the Karthus to make sure that he doesn't get those stacks on the Leandries. And they really executed very well.
That's exactly the fight they needed. They were able to pick it up, and now they've got the Baron here. So how does this Baron play end up shaking up, given that they're going to have to be in the side lane and that there are so many global opportunities for ONECHANCE to use, like the Grand Starfall and, of course, that Requiem?
Yeah, that's really your way back in, is making sure that you can lock somebody up and get them low enough so that Karthus gets that Dark Harvest stack. Because Karthus can really kill anybody once they're low enough with either even just the Dark Harvest stack at this point. Because he's accumulated so many. He has 17 Dark Harvest stacks at this stage of the game.
Which
So,
is a big deal. So
yeah, and he
really doing
also
a bunch of
has
damage.
just gotten the Majaj Soul Stealer.
Sitting on that 4 stacks, pretty sad at the moment, but hopefully looking to add some pages to that book as this Drake fight will be starting up soon, and he will have Requiem for it. So these teams really, so far, the Baron power play has not done too much here for Illinois Academy. They have not really been able to leverage that to push any towers, instead focusing around this next Drake.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to get it uncontested. Wukong is splitting right now. 3 levels up onto Wave 6. And Wave 6 can't do much to clear this wave. Just doesn't have the damage right now. Only sitting on 1 item compared to Wukong's 3. And that's going to be a run it down bot situation here.
Yes, here we go. Now, Faraz is pushing on the backside here. Finally does channel that teleport as here comes the ultimate to try and chunk somebody down. And now we have to have this siege go. And Illinois Academy, their siege is actually pretty decent here with that Caitlyn and the Lulu to just set up a really no-go zone here. So ONECHANCE, I got to think, will be looking to try and force a fight if they can make it happen. Cullen comes over from the front line to try and zone things out, but they can't quite get it. And you do have Monster Mash here on the side trying to look for the flank. Wall of Pain comes through, and it doesn't look like Illinois Academy will be able to finish off this inhibitor unless they make a mistake.
Still staying here.
Yeah, no fear.
Oh,
Actually,
that
they are
damage.
going to try and finally go through. Pyrone is a bit chunked down. That is one of the prerequisites to take this fight. but they take the inhibitor and they're just going to back away, no problem. Illinois Academy, very, very carefully played, but they get the inhib.
Yeah. So what I thought was an overstay ends up being really good for them. Karthus not able to get into anybody, and it is what it is. But we've seen, so Kuderic has now played 2 Caitlyn games, and in both games has gone Stormrazor Static Shiv. Are we sure we're in season 10?
Not quite sure. I do remember that being a build from many, many moons ago. So maybe that is bringing up the ghosts of Christmas past in order to gain an advantage here in the present. But still doing some good damage here, sitting on those 3.5 items. So already doing quite a bit. Pyroan, though, will take a couple chunks here. Take the ace in the hole for his troubles as well. And now with the Baron gone, this should be another chance for ONECHANCE to try and scale up.
Ooh. All right. So here's their. I'm trying to identify the win con, right?
Okay.
Let's think. Let's think what their win con is.
Karthus
pressing R for a pentakill.
Yeah. Oh, so far, actually, here we go under the tower. Faraz is going to be able to dash himself out, so nothing there. But I got to say, we flamed Pyroan so hard over the last few games, and he's really just popped off this game. He's gone from being irrelevant to being his team's last best hope at bringing this series around. So it basically has to be the Karthus, like you've been saying, who's going to bring this out. And the question is, can they execute now that they've got the advantage? Illinois Academy just able to keep pressuring into this Caitlyn.
Yeah. Caitlyn is huge, like giga huge. And let me check that gold lead that Caitlyn's sitting on. Yeah, about 3K ahead of her counterpart. Here comes an engage.
Actually, here we go. They're going to be onto the Lulu here, who pops the ultimate and the shield in order to try to stay alive for just a little bit longer. But there goes the Dark Harvest. They're going to be able to get the kill. Faraz now on the backside here. Is not quite finished off. Kuderic, who uses that Zanya's in order to stay just alive for just a little bit longer. God. And now Quacker on the backside here. They're able to take that kill. They're able to pop that Guardian Angel now. This is going to be the easy kill onto Monster Mash here. That's going to be 4 for 2 in favor here for Illinois Academy. And it's just going to be Pyroan alive here to try and keep his base intact. But minions are crashing in, and you never doubted them for a second. I might have a little bit, but Illinois Academy, they're still in full control of this game.
Yeah, that gold lead is just exploded. They're sitting at about a 7K or 9K gold lead rather. And I can do math, I promise. And pushing into their base here.
Look, I wouldn't fault you if you couldn't do math after this series. This has been a crazy, crazy series.
Me trying to analyze things, my brain's getting fried, man. I got to be honest.
We found out how to break the analysis brain, and it's you feed it Karthus and Camille and Lucian and Pantheon at the same time.
That's what you have to do. Completely break me as a person.
Yeah. Anyways, we're going to be back on the Baron here. I think this should be a pretty easy pickup as Pyroan is nowhere nearby, so the Baron easily secured. The team might decide they want to go for the Cloud Soul, which would be very scary on Sushi Killa and Quacker, of course, giving them that bonus movement speed after pressing R. So
talk about how Wukong is at 4 items and Camille is at 1.
Oh, that's not what you want to see.
That's a bit of a discrepancy, I think.
A little bit of one. But I think we got to say here at the end of the day, Illinois Academy, you're ahead. They've got Baron. They probably get Soul here. And this is looking like a 3-0. But at the very least, ONECHANCE, they picked for comfort, and they had the best game of the series that they could have. As here we go, Wave 6. They look for the initiation. This is ONECHANCE's last chance here, as this is going to be the last breath on the Monster Mash. He should be going down. Faraz doing what they can. The Karthus is still surviving, though. Pyroan, does he pentakill here? The ultimate is coming through.
Oh,
no,
Canary almost died.
Everyone lives. And that should be it. Illinois Academy, they're just going to run straight down and end the game here. Very nicely executed. And like I said, you never doubted them at all. They showed that they have what it takes to play, even against some weird compositions. They're going to take the towers. They're going to take the Nexus. And your 2020 Summer Split champions are Illinois Academy.
A series by them. Really, really, really well played, like all around. That was Absolutely nuts. Man, that is a really, really solid series by them. 3-0 in a decisive fashion. And like you said, the 2020 Summer Split champions. Doesn't get any
Yeah.
better than that for Illinois Academy, I'll tell you that.
No, very definitely. They showed up. They came to play. They said, "We know exactly how we're going to draft. We know what we want. We know what the enemy team is going to be doing here." And they played it to perfection, especially in that game 2, just completely shutting out One Chance, giving them no opportunity to ever come back at all. Game 1, of course, they just constantly had that gold lead. And even game 3, where there were some weird things going on, there were a lot of back and forth team fights. They kept the gold lead. I don't think they gave up the gold lead once this series. So it just goes to show, no matter how poorly, I shouldn't say that. No matter how One Chance tried to come back into it, it was Illinois Academy always saying, no, this is how you play the game. This is how to execute. And they made it work.
Yeah, just massive props to their coach for all 3 of these drafts being really, really solid. And props to their players for executing it so well. But if you had to identify, I know who mine is, but if you had to identify your MVP of this series, who would you give it to?
Well, I think I gotta give it to Quacker here. That guy popped off, I think, in every single game, just constantly pulled a clinic on Wave 6, no matter what the matchup was. He had a counter pick, it seemed, for everything. Even when the Shen and the Mordekaiser were banned out there in the last game, said, okay, that's fine, I'll play Wukong. And finding the flanks, finding the plays to make it work, and just absolutely top diff this game.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to disagree with you though. I would give it to the Sushi Killer. Sushi Killer played absolutely out of his mind all 3 games. Um, really, like, I mean, when you look at the scoreline of the enemy jungler for the first 2 games, that's not because of your top lane, right? That's
Right.
because of your jungler. Um, so I think, and I think Wakanari played really well as well. So if I were to pick my 2, it'd probably be them, but I have to give the edge to Sushi Killer in this series. I think he played out of his mind, jungle diff, a little diffski and a jifski, and yeah, that's who my MVP is.
Yeah. Yeah, it just absolutely great. Very well played. I think we have to say Sushi Killa definitely killed it there in the jungle there and really shut up Pyro and didn't give him an opportunity to do anything. And we are going to hear real quick here from our producer Hypertension here.
Okay, so I have no idea what my play-by-play caster was thinking by not voting Sushi Killa as the MVP. As the tie-breaking vote, as the producer and production head of Upsurge Esports, I am going to vote Sushi Killa as the MVP. Congratulations, my guy. You are the MVP of the UCL Summer Finals. All right, that's it
You
for me.
heard it
Back
here
to the
first.
casters.
Yeah, you heard it here first. Hyper's vote is going to go over to Sushi Killa. So there we go. We have our tiebreaker. So I'll swap my vote over just so we can say we've got it unanimous. Congratulations. And congratulations to Illinois Academy. Very nicely played. So that's going to be it for us tonight, guys. Thank you all so very much for tuning into the stream. We appreciate you guys all being in the chat and giving us some support and giving support to these 2 teams who have both played very, very well. So thank you so very much for tuning in. Let's hit that sweet victory.